is good, and this is why I think it's going to be a really good game, is that the midfield that we just reeled off, which is arguably the best in the competition, is also coming up against the midfield who have got great self-belief, and it's a young midfield who are extremely fit and are super hard in terms of running both ends of the ground. Talking about Riley, Thompson, Van Berlo, Dowdy, Shirley, Vince is in there as well. Symes has been able to make that transition. So they won't be scared of the Ablets and the Bartels and the Selwoods. They'll take the game on. Scotty Thompson's in for a big day. I reckon Cameron Ling's going to go to him. He's just a marvel, Cameron Ling. A super game, a bit of wind around too, so that's going to have an impact, but I'm going with the home team here.
I'm just going with the home team, I think Adelaide have got a lot to prove. They're playing for pride today after 2 weeks ago getting smacked by the Saints. I'm looking forward to seeing the development of Tom Hawkins and Mooney rotating through the ruck also. So there's no doubt when they get Ottens back, they'll be using those boys as followers when they play in the finals. But Adelaide, you're right, Gary, the run and carry, Geelong will have to really earn this win today.
All right, Jimmy Bartell has won the coin toss out there and has elected to kick to the Barwon River Doug Wade stand end of the ground. Now, first quarter brought to you by Sonax Car Care Products, of course, and I don't know whether you know, Gary, but the wheels, the alloy wheels on cars, Spud, these days, you know that black brake dust that comes in? It's really hard to clean in the car wash.
It's impossible.
You put this Sonax stuff on and it comes up an absolute brilliant alloy. It gets rid of all that black sort of dust there.
Give me some, Brian.
So the Sonax Car Care product is coming your way today. Ash, did you want me?
I was just going to say, BT, the Cats are actually wearing white shorts, and yet it's their home game at Skilled Stadium. I know it's probably due to the jumper clashes, but that would be a rarity, I'd say.
They are, and wearing that new jumper, which is for how long, Ash, this new jumper that they're wearing?
I think it's just come out earlier this year, actually. Actually, a couple of weeks ago with all the players.
Wear it until their big 150th celebration night.
All right. So
that was a question I think you were asking, Bristol. I don't think Two-Man was...
you didn't have any idea.
It's a matter of thinking on your feet.
He was making it up.
Just say, I don't know. If you don't know, don't try and be some sort of hero that you're not, obviously.
Some sort of funny jacket on today, too.
All right, we're just about ready to go for Adelaide and the Cats. Of course, keeping an eye on the other game, the Western Bulldogs and Fremantle, where Brad Johnson breaks that games record there for the Bulldogs.
Scott Thompson on the interchange bench, which he's in Brownlow medal type form, so that's obviously just to give him a look at Cameron Ling and give Ling something else to deal with early.
A Vince and Bartell handshake there, Gary. You see that very rarely in modern football. Just before the game, good luck, mate.
Good luck there. Gary's just talking to...
Don't see that happen very often.
No, you don't, JB. But
there's the Mayor of Geelong's just wandered in. Big Bill.
It's good to see him in a very good commentary box. We've got Stevie Johnson. Great to have him back also.
Only about 80% my mail on Steve Johnson.
Yeah.
I gave Wilbur one instruction, and that was to keep you out of the car park, Brian, and that clearly didn't work. So
thanks for that, Bill.
He's just wandered back out, Bill. But we're ready to get this one started. The big one, the Cats. And the Adelaide Crows on Triple M Footy, and here to get us underway, the number one caller in footy for the past 12 years, Brian Taylor.
Thanks to Vodafone, Triple M rocks football. Skilled Stadium start, McLaren puts it on the turf, Mumford went up, knocked the ball down, Ivan Maric is in there, couldn't win it out. We're going to have another ball up in the middle.
Already, Gary, Milburn playing fullback on Tippett. So look for Adelaide to get the ball in there long and strong.
And Harley's got poor pleasure, so big jobs for blokes that have been peripheral defenders.
The voices with the special comments, Gary Lyon and, of course, Danny Frawley. Here's an opportunity for the Cats to get it to Rook. Rook on the members' wing, handball to Ablett, looking for that give and go that he's become familiar with. A good shepherd by Bartell in protecting the champion. Had to go back to Bartell in the end. A little nursing kick to centre forward. Mumford took the mark.
Like him.
Avoided the tackle, gave it to Varco. Unorthodox kick. Down low, Stevie J couldn't take the mark. John Cock came in. Van Berlo's there as well. An opportunity here for the Cats. Stokes tried to bust his way through. Ball was pinned to him in a tackle, and we'll have the ball up 30 out from the Cats' goal.
Well, Darren Milburn's not going to limp to his 250th goes. That is a mismatch. But can Adelaide exploit it? That's the question.
Big truck Rutten, a blistering tackle there. Tommy Hawkins and Maric works it down to my boy Vince. Able to get it back to Maric and then off to the stiff one, John Cock. A little massaging ball. And Adelaide through Tyson Edwards can get it to Rutten on the outside. Nothing to go to. Half back down the Sam Newman wing. A long ball from Edwards to a one-on-one, and Stevens has taken a nice mark.
Nice mark.
Oh, that's not a free kick.
Used the hands, though, I think, Spud.
Oh, just BT. I thought he used the body beautiful. Have a look at the Ace of Gemstone computer replay
Well,
shortly.
Mackey's got it at half-back in the meantime. A beautiful little crossing kick to Enright. He'll mark it forward of the circle. Wasn't paid, and fair enough. Van Berlo down low. Got it out there to Vince, and McKay involved, and now Goodwin. Left foot kick, high ball, and Harley, the skipper, marks on the wing. Quick to dish handball off to Corey. Beautiful kick line to Stevie J. He marks 55 out. A centering kick with blistering speed and bullet-like formation. Finds Stokes on the lead, 40 out.
Well, that's what they've missed a bit in the last month, is that touch of class. Bill's gone off in the holster next to him.
yes.
Stevie J back.
Exploded the glass out of the front of the box.
We've been here a couple of times. He loves that kick into the centre corridor from this pocket.
Very good at it, Gary. Here's Stokes as the result of it to the Barwon River. Doug Wade stand into the ground from 40 metres out. Good-looking kick. The Cats get the first. They're one straight. Adelaide yet to score. Sonak's car care scoreboard.
Well, we saw Geelong set up the wall, Gary. Goodwin under pressure, just lobbed the ball in the air. You cannot do that against Geelong. When they're zoning off and they've got extras back, you've got to run the ball through or keep the ball low. They can exploit their back line, but not with a high kick like Goodwin here to the wing. Harley took it, over to Johnson, game over.
Otten got the job on Johnson. Now, that is a big ask. A young man who's in NAB Rising Star contention, but he's playing on the class half forward in the competition.
Go, Chew, man.
Carlton Natural Blondes, all Geelong's way. 2 inside 50s to zip.
Just if you put your hand up, Chewy, you then need to back it up with something to say.
Give us something.
That's how this works. It's a commentary box.
Little bloody mouse.
One straight, the Cats. Adelaide yet to score.
Take the cheese or not.
You're not at home, Chewer, but lift. High was Tyson Edwards to half forward. Harley caught at the back, unable to take it. Tenace came through with a nice handball to Harley. And then off to Selwood. Eventually the gentleman, Jim Bartell, and then Mackie all by hand. Ablett tucked against the line, got it back to Mackie. He walks down the broadcast wing, but his kick was a little strong. Shirley had to sit and wait. In fact, it's Dowdy. He was taken in a strong tackle. Adelaide having to work very hard across half-back. Tommy Hawkins not able to get clean possession. He'll go back and have another crack. He's barrelled out of play by Vince. And the footy will be thrown in right in front of us.
Now, Cam Mooney's got Nathan Bock as his opponent. We know how devastating Bock is. He's going to try and keep him deep, away from that half-back line.
Don't they look different with Stevie J presenting up as well, the Cats in their forward half? All of a sudden it looks like they can score with some ease. Here's Downey with a high ball to half forward for the Crows. Haven't gone inside their attacking 50 yet, Adelaide, and we've played some 4 minutes already. Opportunity here. Ball was smothered brilliantly as Thompson tried to get the handball away. Bartow involved at Corey. Corey's handball went astray. Opportunity, gee, they're tackling hard at the moment, the Cats.
They're sharp, aren't they, Bristol?
Their tackling is unreal. Rook's got it as a result. Right on the edge of the centre square here on the wing. Members side of the ground. Rook will kick it a centre half forward, a high ball. Mooney has to stop, stand and wait. Tried to glove it with the one hand, couldn't quite get hold of it. My boy Riley, the Romsey flyer, got it out wide now. Bock with a kick to Knight and marks it on half
Nice
back.
at half back. One of the reasons for the tackling, Gary, got no structure.
No forward line structure. Now, the breeze to me looks like it's going down that end. Just have a conventional forward structure.
Down the Sam Newman wing, Stevens again will infringe.
But unfortunately, if Geelong keep winning the ball in the midfield, what happens is the Geelong half-backs will just zone off. So Adelaide need to win some quality ball through the middle.
Mackie off to Enright and then to Milburn. We're going to get to you soon, Doc. Milburn, a little one. Good to Chapman, not far enough. Doesn't matter. Handball off to Ling. Ling gets around Goodwin with a little stiff arm, don't argue. And then back to Chapman. They're going the wrong way here, the Cats. Enright at half-back. A squaring ball, gets it to Corey. And Corey will go to Bartell. Doc, for your local Toyota dealer.
Just to confirm that Geelong's got the favour of an unusual breeze to the Doug Wade stand. It's going towards the river end today. That's not usual here.
Milburn, a handball, beautiful handball over the top to Jim Bartell. His kick to Stevie J, nice. And he hits up on the wing.
They do, gee, they spread well Geelong across that half-back line. Look at a kick to Stokes on the feet, though. Couldn't quite get it. Tom Hawkins is thereabouts. Stokes got the handball. Clever tap from Hawkins to Stevie J. In his favourite spot for centering the ball. A high ball in the head of Mooney. Tried to mark it on the test. Put the claws up. Ablett worrying them out of it on the ground level. Selwood came in, gave it to Varco. Varco, one handball too many to Stokes, who couldn't control it. Varco had an opportunity to kick the goal. Stop it off the ground, Varco. Point already over the line. One handball too many on the chain then. A little unselfish in the end and a minor score the result here. 1-1-7 the Cats. Adelaide yet to score. We've played 5.
Jimmy Bartell, 6 disposals already in 5 minutes of football. But Johnson, he's alert. He's come back in supreme form.
Talk about
Johnson.
the spread. That's the key here, Bristol. They are spreading Geelong like nothing else and getting great ball across the other side of the ground.
Beautiful kick into 8-Day Bock, who dropped the ball. It's picked up by Goodwin. And beautiful long handball there from Thompson. Now they're away on the outer side. Dowdy a long ball. Going in the Tippett direction. Spud's not going to get to him though. Mackie a good fist away. And it's out of play half forward for Adelaide.
I reckon they've got to talk to our man Smooth. Look at those flags behind the goals up the Adelaide end. That would tell you that it's a 6-goal breeze. yet it is holding up in the breeze.
And the flags at the other end dead set flaccid as the ball just out of play. No, Stevens kept it in. Adelaide go inside 50 again, 1-on-2 involving Big Paw Pie. He's able to pick it up, Paul Pleasure, but his handball was astray. Knights comes in, Paul Pleasure gets back involved, but he gets gang tackled by the Cats. And Selwood gets it off to Enright and then Ling.
Ling over the top, and here they are in defence, the Cats, as Corey under some pressure, got a kick to Bartel, got a poor bounce, it spills, opportunity here for Vince, give the handball over the top, here's Dangerfield, right foot banana, could have gone the easy drop punt. Went the smart-ass thing, and just a minor score there. Adelaide 1 behind, Geelong a 1-1-7 on the Triple M scoreboard. Let's go around the grounds thanks to the TAC.
Bulldogs by 11 points over the Dockers, 7 minutes into the first quarter.
See, I'd like to look at that breeze now, boys. You reckon that's not a home ground advantage? Adelaide wouldn't know what's going on.
They wouldn't know. We don't know what's going on because Dockers rightly pointed out when going perhaps towards the Doug Wade stand end on some flags, and then you look at the City end and it's going the other direction. So at both ends it's going in two different directions. Work that out if you possibly can. Here's an opportunity now for the Crows in, down low and hard. Running over the top of the ball there, they're half forwards, and now an opportunity coming out of defence end right with a beautiful kick, found Bartel. This is where they're good, centre half back. Bartel around the corner, good looking ball out there and finds an opportunity for Hogan.
He goes long for Mooney. Takes it to 2 kicks from home, wheels around, not much to go to, gets around Rutten, and then goes with a low pill that's not great. And it's chopped out by one of my favourites, Van Berlo, just because I like saying the name, Chua. Out wide, very nicely, Adelaide massaged it into the hands of Brian's boy, Riley.
I reckon the Cats are coming our side of the ground when they attack, making a real conscious effort, and the side that doesn't play at all, or very much, are going around the other side of the ground. Bit of home ground advantage, maybe.
Bok, defensive 50. And he comes to our side of the ground, the broadcast side, and gets it to Dowdy. Doug Wade stand end.
Held them up here. This is what the Cats want to do. They launch from the back half, Adelaide, with numbers. They've been held up.
1-1-7 the Cats, one behind Adelaide. Short ball into the arms of Symes.
We'll try and get a switch, manufacture a switch and then get it to the open side.
Well, Otten is out on the other side of the ground about 110 metres away. If they can get him involved.
9 minutes into this first term. Good kick, finds Riley to handball off. Van Berlo, Knights, inboard ball to McLeod. Now Dowdy, some nice linking run. Out wide, Thompson can get it outside 50, kick smothered by Milburn. And then he fists it out of play. Sam Newman wing, well done by the veteran. And the footy will be thrown in out of side. So the full scoreboard, 1-1-7 Geelong, one behind Adelaide.
Great applause there for the 250 game. That saved a certain goal at Smother. It had Paul Pleasure and Knights on their own in the goal square.
Boundary throw in. Sorry, Gary.
Tom Harley blowing.
Tippett, the knockdown here. Got on the end of it, Riley.
That's not what you want.
Got a vicious confronting tackle, so much so that he'll get a free for too high, Riley. At half forward, about 75 metres out from Adelaide's Geelong City end goal.
I think they've got to make an effort to get across this other side of the ground here. I reckon they're coming in from the dead side, Bristle.
They need to split and spread too, the Crows forwards. They're all using Tippett as a starting point.
Every attack, Gary, has been on that outer side for Adelaide, and I don't think, as you say, it's the right side.
I think that the Cats almost willing them and luring them into that side of the ground. And then when they get possession, they are desperate to bring it over this side.
Boundary throw in deep in the Adelaide Geelong City end attack on the outer side of the ground. Winders puzzling here to say the least. Tippett the knockdown comes to Geelong. Ling fast hands Corey. Corey back to Ling, was confronted by a bruising Riley. Right arm slinger.
Point in the back there.
And it'll be a free kick going to Ling at half back. Ling to Ablett. Ablett with a kick across the front of his own defensive goal to Milburn. His handball was a little loose backwards to Harley. His kick was likewise to Enright, had to go down and pick it up on the half volley and be clean. Milburn comes out wide now, and here's an opportunity for Gillies.
On the ground.
He gives it off to Stevie J, and then Burns, and back to Johnson. Half back, not much to go to, so he goes with a handball to Gillies, who gives it straight back to Johnson. Then Bartel through the middle, it ends up with Ling. Look at the redhead go. Inside 50 with a right foot ball. Mooney's got about 3 with him. He takes the mark on his own big Moon. About 15 out, not much angle.
Their transition from defence is superb, and it was all Steve Johnson. You know, the most courageous play was he came back into the middle of the ground. They did what we've been saying. They brought it out here. Adelaide made the adjustment, but Johnson got such self-belief, he went back through the middle of the ground.
It's for his 29th goal of the season, Moon. Should convert, and he hasn't. That's a very poor set shot from Big Cam. And he misses to the near side. So 1-2-8 And Adelaide are one behind on the Triple M Sonax car care scoreboard.
That's inexcusable, that kick from Mooney, but you're right. Today, the side that's doing all the attacking is Geelong. You normally want to own the corridor, Gary. Today, they're owning this side of the ground where we're calling from.
28-29 for Mooney for the year.
Has no rhythm when kicking goals, Gary. Either kicks it too softly or tries to kick the absolute skin off it. He has no in-between at all. John Cock kicking out from full-back. McLeod's just gone to the bench for a rest. Ball kicked into play and an opportunity to mark taken out there, JB. It was a very, very nice mark by Bock at half-back and did it well. Scoreboard at the moment, 1-2-8 Geelong. Adelaide just the one behind, and they attack again on this outer side. There's Edwards, the 300 gamer. High ball, up they fly. Stevens over the top, couldn't take the mark. Ball comes back into play. Here's Knights on his favourite left side. This time he sees Tippett. Tippett takes the mark, 35 out directly in front.
And that's what you need to do. You need to take the game on, play boldly, take risks through the middle of the ground and draw that extra player to the ball carrier.
They get through the zone. On 2 or 3 occasions, Adelaide have had forwards that have sat back. So that's the challenge for them, to run at Geelong and work their way through the zone.
Well, the facts are he shouldn't be shooting for goal. Mooney had to kick the goal.
36 goals for the year. Kurt Tippett directly in front, city end of the ground. 35 metres in distance is there. They've got it. Adelaide get there first. They are 1-1-7 to Geelong 1-2-8. On the Triple M Sonax scoreboard. 13-minute marks. Car care products. Sonax.
Been one of the revelations this year, Kurt Tippett. Always had some talent, but has really stepped up. Possession-wise, Geelong are 26 touches in front on the Carlton Natural Blonde stat sheet. And have a listen to these familiar names. Joel Corey with 10. Jimmy Bartell with 9. Stevie Johnson, Cameron Ling with 6 apiece. That's some pretty big numbers racked up early in the piece.
Around the grounds for the TAC.
Bulldogs by 23 over the Dockers, 4-1-25 to Freo, 2 behinds halfway into the first.
That bloke who had 220,000 on the Western Bulldogs can get in the queue.
Geelong by a point here. 1-2 to 1-1.
Well, I think Adelaide are just going to keep their structure. It was good, and they'll get some easy goals if they remain patient and be bold.
Seller and also Hawkins, and look at Ablett come out of the middle, bursting through. Long ball from Ablett. Stokes and Mooney at the back. Neither can get their hands on the Sharon. And it's out of play deep. No, they might have kept it in there, John Cock. No, it's out now. And Doug Wade stand in. It'll be thrown in.
No, they push up. Adelaide forwards, big spud. They're pushing up again, and they've got no one, almost everyone in one half of the ground.
Hawkins works it down. Johnson, beautiful by hand, but then unable to get hold of the footy and dispose of it. Varco had a little play on it. Rook banged out of the tackle. Got the handball back to Hogan. Hogan off to Enright from outside 50. Set sail Enright. Oh, simple mark. Stevie J dropped on the line. Just a chest mark. An absolute pud. And I think a free kick's been picked out. It's going to go Stevie's way. Oh, contact fortunate.
Over the shoulder there against Ottens.
10th possession coming up for Johnson. He's been just beautiful to watch. That mark was floating around. It might have been had too much time, but he'll kick the goal. And month out of footy, he's going to have 10 possessions in about 15 minutes and a goal.
5-1, the free kicks. That's a goal. Geelong's way. So Stevie Johnson gets his first. Cats get their second. They are 2-14. Adelaide 1-1-7. We played 15 and a half first term. Triple M Sonax car care scoreboard.
And again, they attack through this side. One thing Adelaide forwards should do, if all the Geelong defenders go up, the 3 Adelaide forwards, Gary, should stand on this side. Force the Adelaide back half of the midfield to kick to an attacking side here and outnumber that zone player 3-1.
The voice of Danny Frawley there. We've got a 7-point lead with Geelong. Natural Blondes, Ash.
Low numbers for the Crows. Goodwin just the 2 disposals and McLeod with 1.
Ash Chew of the Carlton Natural Blonde stats. Nothing artificial about this stuff. Bit of a bloke's beer. Girls like it as well, of course. Ball up in the middle. Opportunity here, the Cats, 7 points in advance. Hawkins into the ruck, wins the tap out, knocked the ball down. No win there on that occasion for Hogan. He gets back to his feet, and Ablett is down there and hard, and a free kick will go the Cats' way.
Knock it out!
As he didn't knock it out, you heard the umpire say, and it'll go to Mooney.
What's Geelong's spread?
Mooney just in the centre circle here. Has to kick over the man on the mark, and in the end he didn't. Handball was short to Tenace. He went wide, and here's Milburn. Edge of the square, outer wing. Searching kick, looking for Hawkins on the lead. Got in the way, Rook. Opportunity for Adelaide to rebound, but because, as Gary has pointed out, all players forward have got no forward line back. In right now to Milburn. Sam Newman wing side of the ground, a nursing little ball. Opportunity for Ling to bang it on the boot, a high ball. This time marked in defence by Vince.
And he will come our side for the first time. Van Berlo. Low one to Rodney Dangerfield, who takes it half back. Gives it back off to Van Berlo and then to Vince. Impressive young player at centre half back. Gets it off to Dowdy. Through they come, Otten, the player who was taken in a hard tackle. Cats have the ability now to rebound. Goodwin couldn't get access to the Sharon. It's in the centre. It's on the ground. It'll be bounced.
I wonder if they look at the Geelong defence and think, we back ourselves to turn them round. Harley, Milburn, Joel Corey's down there. That wouldn't be a problem. But without those big keys there, maybe they want to try and turn them around. But it's not working at the minute.
Ujinsky picks up the ball, gets it off to the skipper, and then gets it back on the broadcast wing to half forward. The kick wasn't great. It may work though. Rook hits up at the ball, takes it on the bounce. His handball too fierce for Johnson, and Dowdy picks it up for Adelaide.
Handball to Rutten. This is at half-back for Adelaide. They get their run going. Bok overlapping Van Berlo. Took a bounce through centre half-back. Just back into the centre circle now. Elects to go to the outer side to the leader, Stevens. Hit him on the chest. Couldn't hold the mark. Tippett ran over the top of the ball. Went and got it ground level. Not a lot of players in support. 3-on-2 at the moment in Geelong's favour. They win the ball on the Sam Newman wing side, and Chapman takes the mark. For Geelong, a little chipping ball over the top to Corey, who had run down. And he now takes the mark on the Sam Newman wing. Not officially the Sam Newman wing, of course, but we like to call it that because that's what it should have been named.
Yes.
Here's Chapman from half forward, a ball to Hawkins. Got a hand in the back, has to be a free. Surely, Rutten had the hand there, clearly. Nothing on. Ball spills to Goodwin. Goodwin, a little kick, finds Edwards.
Edwards, Van Berlo through the centre. That's nice to Burton at half forward.
Now they've got Tippett one-on-one on Milburn.
Gives it off to McLeod. Long in search of Tippett. Fist away. Good from Milburn out of play. Forward 50 for Adelaide.
Look where he's led, Jim. He's led again to the dead pocket. Now, if he comes to this side and gets right body position on Milburn, he's able to hold his ground, protect the drop zone, and then take a mark.
Be interesting in the next quarter to see which side Geelong attack on, Gary.
Clean possession there from Tippett. He goes to the top of the square. Burton's got a couple to beat. Did well to get rid of Harley. Now the ball's out of play. Very deep. Adelaide forward 50. It'll be thrown in. 2-2-14 Geelong. 1-1-7 Adelaide.
That's a free kick to Burton here, boys.
What for a push, Spud?
Yes. Off the ball against Joel Corey.
He's going to have to kick a ferocious banana. He runs around, does Brett Burton. The snap is good. He's got it. So 2-1-13 Adelaide, 2-2-14 Geelong. Triple M Sonex car care scoreboard round the grounds for the TAC.
JB Bulldogs by 24 points over the Dockers, 5-2-32 to Freo, 3 behinds, 19 in the first quarter.
Well, that just explains why you need to attack this side for two reasons. Brett Burton, the wind actually helped that kick, but the art of playing the forward line, you two boys here have played a hell of a lot more than me, but Tippett has to get the ball to advantage on this side. If he stands the other side, the ball will just push it far down into that deep pocket where he won't be able to use his height and strength to advantage. So he needs to read the conditions. That's one of the things about playing the forward line. Know your team, but know the conditions also.
Packed stadium here. Rain is threatening. Pretty darky sort of from the southern end of the stadium. At the moment, a 1-point differential in favour of Cats. Ball back in the middle of the ground. The Dogs doing the job at the moment over Fremantle at Etihad Stadium. In the other one, thanks to the TAC, as the ball from Adelaide out of the middle goes towards half forward. Couldn't mark it. Knights. Spills to ground. Mackey. Handball didn't have enough wheels for the wheelman himself, Wojcinski. Couldn't get hold of it. In they go. A high tackle by Wojcinski. Was not paid initially. And in the end, the ball was trapped, and we'll ball it up at half forward as Mooney takes a spell and Mumford on.
Love Joel Selwood, boys. You know that. I've been watching him. If ever I've seen a man look a little bit tired and sore after a mighty effort last week, he just had the 3 touches.
Marriage doing the ruck work. Mumford there as well. Chapman shoveled out the handball in the Mumford direction. He takes a couple of them. Got rid of the handball, the big mummy. The sneaky handball from Wojcinski to Johnson was great. How many's Johnson had?
9 touches.
Bartel over the top to the left-footed. Burns, who runs onto the left. Took a bounce through centre forward. 60 metres out. Doesn't go for home. Wanted that block to come at him. He's got the free against John Cock anyway for a hold. And got the arm, the umpire said. 20 metres out directly in front will be Ablett.
Oh, it's good play. John Cock doesn't like playing deep, and he was just aware. There was just the pressure of Ablett playing in that position. Why John Cock give the free away?
Tyson Edwards just ran past and dumped Joel Selwood, which has caused a bit of a
There's a
fracas.
50-metre
And
here
a
too.
50-metre penalty as well, as John Cock was asked to come back to 12 metres to the goal line. This is a certain goal for Ablett.
I think that's the 50 from Selwood.
So there you go. Gary Ablett comes in and he kicks the goal, and the Cats getting them pretty easy at that end. 3-2-20 to Adelaide 2-1-13 on the Triple M Sonax car care scoreboard.
And why Selwood's having a bit of a quiet start, the respect from Neil Craig and the Adelaide coaching staff. They've put their best tag of Robert Shirley on Selwood. So there's no doubt that the young Selwood is a star in the making. No tag for Ablett or Chapman.
Well, actually, they may have swapped that, Spud Regal, because whether Ablett Shirley swung onto Selwood because Ablett went forward, very early in the piece Shirley went to Ablett. So now Ablett's back in the centre. I think you might see that Shirley goes to him and maybe Goodwin or some other one picks Selwood.
All right, we've got 2-1-13 Adelaide, 3-2-20 Geelong.
That's it. Sorry, Jim. The match-up right now is Burton with Harley out of the goal square is a big win for Adelaide.
Sonax car care scoreboard, Marich and Mumford. Mumford had an arm pinned.
The chicken wing.
And it's now going to be held onto by Ablett, and a couple had hold of him, so we'll redo the bounce. Love everything Brian Cook does down here, Brian, and also Francis. But I'm telling you right now that the fact that the cheer squad can't sit where it should at this ground is a disgrace.
Just detracts from the game.
Does picked up by Enright. That's the Adelaide cheer squad. Long ball, and here comes big Tommy Hawkins.
Great
The
kick.
Tomahawk going back for the flight. Beautiful mark, and as you heard from Spud, the kick from Enright, sensational.
Well, it was indefendable, the kick. It was just kicked to the space beautifully. Again, attacking on the right side of the ground, and Hawkins was aware that all the space was there. That was a magnificent kick in, right?
First touch for Tommy Hawkins, emerging in the last month, Gary. We like it.
Yeah, I think confidence is a massive thing for a young man like this.
And he's going to take a ping at the Doug Wade stand end. Full stand there too. And this will be for
Packed
the
here, eh?
fourth for the Cats. Kick very close to the man on the
Too
mark.
close.
He didn't look where that mark was.
Tommy.
The point, it's a fundamental in goal kicking is understand where the mark is, and Rutten it was that did a terrific job, came back off the mark and then charged at the last second.
It's
one of
still
the
a worry, BT. Coming into the finals, your two big forwards have two shots on goal in Mooney and Hawkins, and they butchered both.
It's one of the reasons you never turn your
That's a
back on the man when you're going back, because the umpire says it's there, but where is it? You might not be within a metre or two.
Yeah, but it says, Bristol, it says that he's worrying that much about the kick, he's forgetting about everything else.
Yep. Let's go around the grounds thanks to the TAC, Ash.
Bulldogs by 28 points over the Dockers, 24 into the first.
And nervous out of defence here are the Crows. Van Berlo, top of the defensive goal square, decides to take a bounce. He's got running support in Goodwin, went inboard though, and now McLeod's involved with a handball from Riley. McLeod over the top. Here they go. Bok was caught in the tackle, just got it to McLeod in the nick of time. He gives it off here, and an opportunity for Vince to be involved. Back to McLeod. Good program here for McLeod. Gave it off to Knights. Knights on the Tam Newman wing. Works it back inside to Van Berlo. They're going to run out of options at the moment. Here's Knights again from inside the centre square. The kick deep.
No!
And the mark is taken by Dangerfield with speed and pace over Tenace, who was caught flat-footed directly in front. Dangerfield lines up for goal.
This whole game plan Geelong are implementing, they know Adelaide run out of defence, so they've employed a full press here. So every one of their players push up the ground, which leaves Dangerfield in the goal square on his own. If they can get through the press that Geelong are putting on, they're going to be able to score goals.
15-17 this year is not great in front of the sticks, but he would know this ground. Played his TAC Cup footy here, of course, and pretty much a local from this area. Little bit of left to right breeze to get them within a point, Adelaide, late in this first quarter. Been a good effort by the Crows to stay with the Cats as Dangerfield comes in. It drifts to the right, which is the way the breeze is going left to right at that end. And a minor score, so a 7-point margin now on the scoreboard. I think it is a 7-point margin for the Cats in the latter stages of this first quarter.
Kick in just. Got Mackie. Just.
I agree with Geelong employing that full zone, but when the ball's forward to the centre, you have to make up your mind to go and play one-on-one. They've got to do both, and I think against quality teams such as St Kilda, they'll hurt you if they continue to play the full zone.
Bartel takes a nice mark out of side Sam Newman's side. He's had 12. High quality unit, the gentleman Jim Bartel. Look at the kick to Rook. In fact, the field kicking, Gary, contrasted to what we saw last night. She's your chalk and cheese.
Yeah, there they come across here again.
Back to Ablett.
This fella's
Harley.
just in...
Rusty.
He's rusty.
He goes for the little massaging one. Milburn let the ball bounce quite
that's
cleverly.
clever.
Gave it off to Adelaide. He gets banged into a tackle by Vince. Wojcinski's going to be tackled as well. Mackey's got work ahead of him.
Gee, they get their hands free in the tackle well, don't they?
Out of play right in front of the Doctor Smooth. The ball will be thrown in. 3-3-21 Geelong, 2-2-14 Adelaide. Triple M Sonak's car care scoreboard.
Got a nice stadium down here under construction. It'll be great when they finish it, and hopefully we'll get a scoreboard at some stage. We've got one here the size of a matchbox.
And a box bigger than something counts with 2 cats in.
Not great, as we'll have a ball up 52 metres out.
The Geelong faithful turn and look at Brian and say, what are you talking about?
No, they don't like you talking about their ground. It's a lovely ground, and I think it's one of the unique stadiums in our competition. Just got a retarded scoreboard. As Adelaide is able to pick the ball up, give it off to Corey, and the ball goes over the line out of bounds 60 metres out. Let's go around the grounds thanks to the TAC.
Bulldogs by 26 points over the Dockers, 27 in the first quarter.
So we'll throw it in about 60 metres out. We've played 27 and a quarter minutes in this first quarter so far. It's getting the odd look now, JB.
It's starting to really hone in on you, Bristol, which I love.
Just quieten down for a moment. They get a little uncomfortable in Mercedes. Riley is able to try and plough through as Hogan wraps him up in the tackle. We'll have a ball up, point of the square, half forward for the Crows.
Minute 40 on the clock.
Man in the dry as a bone may just wander back up here and club you, Brian. It's a bounce inside the centre square.
Western District.
4 or 5 of them go at it. A hold for Adelaide. Not sure where it came from, but it's going to go to Tippett. And now the umpire
50 metres against Milburn.
Milburn's given away 50. And Mark Knopfler loves giving him. He's going to go back to the top of the square and Tippett.
Well, you're looking from behind. Yeah, no, I had a clear view of that one, Darren. I just pushed. It's a clear hole, ball from Marek in the back.
There you go.
He's just standing there. He can stand there, don't hold. Darren. 50.
So there's the 50 explanation. And Tippett now, he's starting to say to Mark Knopfler he should be back a little further, but
Time off.
here goes Tippett.
Hey, Kane, Chubby, level with me, please.
It's a bad decision, I think.
It is. I'll back Milburn up after
Really
he kicks
bad
the goal.
decision.
All right, well, let's get to Tippett kicking the goal first. For the third, and to narrow it to a point, Tippett walks in and kicks the goal. So he's got 2. Adelaide a 3-2-20. Geelong 3-3-21. Triple M Sonak's car care scoreboard. Before you explain it, Spud, let's get down to the dock.
Well, just to say that Darren Milburn just brought himself off the ground straight away after that spud. No runner went out to him. He's just sitting on the bench having a drink. So that's a team rule, giving away the 50, but didn't hesitate to run off the ground.
Well, he was hesitant to run off the ground, fellas, because all he was trying to do was run back and help the defence. And what happened was Big Marriage ran into his path and got upended. Milburn had no idea where Marriage was. Marriage ended up on the ground.
So accidental contact.
It's accidental contact. That's what Milburn was trying to explain to the umpire, but Doc's all over it. Team rule at Geelong. You give away a 50, just sprint off.
Bristol, you know what the goal situation is?
Yes, it is goal for goal, Gary, since the start of the game, and I can run through those for you. Geelong kicked the first, Adelaide the second, Geelong the third, and so on.
Well, there's a minute on the clock to go. I reckon the Adelaide Crows will be over the moon with what they've been able to do here. Yep. Just a point behind. The home crowd just have to sit back, not get right up and about. It's a good effort.
Cats by a point as we toss it up in the middle of the ground. We've got 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining in this first quarter, and we'll have another ball up here in the middle of Skilled Stadium. Quarter time at Etihad Stadium. What have we got for the TAC, Ash?
Bulldogs by 20 points over the Dockers, BT.
Ball up in the middle, Tippett doing the ruck work, and a free kick off the ball, and these umpires interfering with a game that doesn't need to be interfered with. That umpire was fair dinkum 120 metres away. Thompson kicks the ball out towards the Sam Newman wing. An opportunity for Bok to play on. The handball's on. Adelaide are out of the loop here. They kick a ball inside 50 that falls short, and Selwood takes a mark steady in the defensive 50.
Computer's down. We need to know what won the first leg of the quaddie. We don't know if we're alive or not.
We're looking for an 18th consecutive loss in the quaddie with the boys in the box.
Picked up by Tyson Edwards. He's wrapped up straight away by Ling, and the umpire out there with a head like Beaker out of the Muppets has just pinged that man for holding the pill. I think that man's name's Martin Nichols or Matthew Nichols or something, Bristol.
Yeah, Matt
very
Nichols.
strange response. But he's got that one going Ling's way at half back. And
They'll switch it out of here again.
it'll come out our way again. Harley takes it, and he's got Mackie on. If he wants to use him, doesn't. Goes back to Enright. 31 minutes gone, first term. 1 point the lead to Geelong. And we haven't got long to go. 1 second, in fact. So there's the siren. And it's a 1 point lead to the home team. 3-3 to 3-2.
Guild Stadium. Cats by a point over the Crows, 3-3-21. Adelaide 3-2-20 around the grounds. TAC Ash.
Bulldogs by 32 over the Dockers, early stages, second quarter.
Orion V6, 200 kilowatts of power, efficiency and control. Doc.
No injury concerns, Brian. Bizarre breeze here today. It is still favouring the Doug Wade stand if you are forward in 50 at that Doug Wade river end. But when you get out on this side of the ground on the broadcast side, there's still some advantage to the city end as well.
Very nice work down there, Doc. Now, we've just heard news on the quaddie. The boys are looking for a win in the quaddie for 17 straight weeks. They have lost the quaddie. Unbelievable when they go so wide. Guess what this week, Spud?
We didn't get the first leg.
The first leg out of the quaddie for their 18th consecutive weeks. The favourite got up to win. You didn't have him in.
Gary.
18 consecutive weeks out of the quaddie.
I reckon, Spud, we're going to give Gary the lemonade and sauce. The only reason we've got him involved is he's the favourite king. What happened to the favourite?
I don't care. I'm in my own quaddie and I'm still alive.
Gary and Spud, your thoughts on the first quarter of football? The Cats by a point.
I think they'd be delighted, the Crows. What they did is that they took the game on. It was a bit of a scrap, but I tell you, their ball carriers, they're important ones, Van Berlo, Bock, these all come out of half-back. So what they do is they are happy to push numbers up, and what we had was 36 players playing through three-quarters of the ground, and they were able to weave their way through. Now, if you're a Geelong supporter, you're still feeling pretty comfortable because most times they went inside forward 50, they looked like they were going to score. So they probably looked more dangerous in the end. Steve Johnson was on fire. Whether he can maintain that sort of form after a month off remains to be seen. But the Crows very much in this contest.
Well, there's no doubt the Shirley's back in the team and you've got Edwards. They didn't play against St Kilda. They're one of their best on balls and their best taggers. So they'll be wrapped with this first quarter, Adelaide.
All right, we bounce to start the second term. It is a 1-point lead to Geelong. That's a re-knit tour and an extraordinary one as into the arms of Rook right in front of us. He goes to half forward with a slicing sideways ball. Missed, all concerned. Picked up by Chapman, off to Wojcinski, was unable to take it. Riley comes through. Wojcinski did well to get it back to Chapman. Chapman a centering ball. 2-on-1 here. Bartell! Big grab from Jimmy Bartell.
Well, I tell you, he cleaned up Stevie Jones up, and that's good news. But I think in the end, Stevie might have been able to just hold his man out and could have saved everyone a little bit of pain. I think if he had had some a bit of awareness that Jimmy Bartell was on his own, but it is a good mark. And again, they've attacked from the right side of the ground already. They've come from this side. I think that's a little message for the Crows.
Right, after this kick, we're going down to the Dr. Smooth. But here is Jim Bartell to the Geelong end. Set shot, should be a goal, and is. Bartell gets his first. Cats get the first of the second term and head out to a 7-point lead down to the dock for the Toyota Orion V6.
Yeah, just watching Paul Chapman, just a little bit sore in the left hamstring, and he pulled up out of that contest just before the goal score there. So we know he's had hamstring troubles this year. Maybe just a little bit of tightness. He's still on the ground, Chappie.
Well, Carlton Natural Blonde stats with Bartell, 13 disposals, and every one of those has hit the target. He's one of the best marking midfielders you'll see, Bartell. That was a magnificent mark. But just off the ball before that set-up was Joel Selwood and Michael Doughty. They hit each other, and Doughty stayed down. Selwood just bounced up. He's as tough as they come, Selwood.
Cats by 7 points. The goal-for-goal formation continues. And umpire McLaren balls it up in the middle. Marriage wins the knockdown in front of Mumford. Edwards is there, but Ablett beat him to the ball. Got it to Selwood. A quick little kick, even though under the Shirley pressure. Advanced it forward some 25 metres. On the Sam Newman wing side of the ground, an opportunity for Symes to tidy it up. The Crows method around with it on half forward. In comes the charging Rook. Tries to rip it out. No success there so far. Now Adelaide have got it locked up on their half-back line. Will have the ball up.
Gary, I don't think you could ever underrate a Brownlow medalist, but I think Bartell is underrated.
Because of his persona, I reckon, as much as anything. He's just such a low-key cat, but he's a wonderful player.
Unbelievable.
What we just saw then was the value of Max Rook. He's single-handedly kept the footy in this forward half of the ground.
Selwood keep it alive here, and he'll get a free in the back there.
No, you didn't correct his nose.
Okay, it'll go Adelaide's way to Thompson. Thompson on the half-back line.
Well, they need to go to work on what Geelong did from that area of the ground. They need to switch the ball out this
Well,
side.
they're setting up that way, but they just can't get it across.
Adelaide to the Barwon River end. The kick by Thompson wasn't great. Van Berlo got it in the fingertips, couldn't control it. And Geelong all of a sudden go back inside 50, and I think it might have been Bartell moving the ball forward. And Geelong, as a direct result, will have a shot on goal with Hawkins. About 45 metres out directly in front.
Geelong were all over it. They manned the mark beautifully. Not only manned the mark, the free man that Thompson was trying to get the ball to switch. They covered it beautifully.
Hawkins has got a left to right ball from centre half forward, 45 metres out directly in front to the Geelong City end of the ground. And here comes the big fella, very close to the man on the mark again. Too close to the man on the mark, forces him in the last step to kick it to the right-hand side. This guy needs to work out what he's doing in front of goal and minus score. 8-point lead to the Cats.
Looking to my left, Bristol, I've got our producer, Julian De Stoop and Dennis Committee. It's a nose-off.
It's a sword fight. Look at
I've seen never seen three conks.
Mr. Squiggle.
This Tyson Edwards goes for a little one and gets a debok at halfback, our side of the ground, and he just settles down and waits for something to come to him.
No play on this side like the Geelong boys got.
Got a little shepherd and then went long. Tippett will get involved in this, so will Harley. Almost took the mark. Thompson gets held in a very strong Geelong tackle. And there'll be a bounce right in front of the Triple M commentary box. Just joining us, Geelong 4-4-28, Adelaide 3-2-20. Triple M Fox Sports scoreboards around the grounds for the TAC.
Bulldogs by 37 points over Fremantle, 8 minutes into the second.
Drive on drugs, you're out of your mind. Selwood, quick hands, Ablett inboard, Bartel, Corey. Corey just pushed off the balls. He went to kick it. It went to the advantage of Adelaide. Stevens took the mark. He's got the little porpoise on over the top. He sends the ball down long. Gillies is on the chase. The ball bounced freely through for a behind, though. As a direct result, 3-3-21. Adelaide to Geelong 4-4-28 on the Triple M Fox Sports scoreboard.
Just had to think his way through that, Stevens. Better off holding up. He had two Adelaide players streaming.
Break this one up, but Milburn gets it back. Handball over the top to Mackie. And Mackie will go down the Sam Newman wing with a beautifully directed ball to Rook.
Look at Johnson.
Rook will go long to Stevie J. Otten tries to get back on him. He's good in these situations. Stevie got one hand to it. Push. And Otten will take a free kick.
Now, that's that long kick from that side of the ground that won't carry. Did you see it held up in the breeze? That's a couple of times now. This is good from Adelaide. Get it on the attacking side.
Bock to Dowdy. Dowdy a little chipping ball to Tyson Edwards. What a wonderful player he's been. Handball over the top to Rutten. Rutten a little one down the wing. And Wojcinski's able to break it up in front of Riley. Some trade talk surrounding your boy Riley Bristleman at the end of the year. I don't know if it's true or not, but certainly been some. 28-21, Cats up.
Maybe he wants to come back to Victoria. Here's Edwards in game 305 for him. And players converge on it. Speak of the man, Riley. He's got the ball locked in and will have a ball up. In fact, he'll be dropping the ball against Geelong, holding the ball in fact, against Stokes. It'll go to Riley.
Gee, they do really. They're setting up rugby-type formations here, both sides. Get behind the ball and see if they can run the length.
Riley to Ottens as John Cock let it go. Otten kicks out wide, falling over there. Van Berlo didn't give himself a chance to mark it. Rook almost threw it out the side door to Corey, and now Harley's in place. His handball was really iffy to Bartel. Almost lost his head because of the bad handball. And now we'll have a ball up 60 out from Geelong's Bowen River end goal.
Getting his hands on the footy a bit, Tom Harley. I'm not sure the efficiency's been fantastic. 10 possessions on the Carlton Natural Blonde at the moment at just 60%.
An opportunity for Chapman to Bartel. Got a high tackle, Bartel. Still no free forthcoming. Comes back to Chapman. Let's quickly go around the grounds. Ash for the TAC.
Bulldogs by 37 over the Dockers, 10 into the second.
Dowdy got unloaded with a hip and shoulder, and a bit of trash talk over the top of him from Stevie J out on the Sam Newman wing. And Dowdy with the free kick. Inside the centre square, kicks it to the centre circle, finds Otten. Otten was run down from behind, but still got the kick away. But the pressure forced the turnover here. An opportunity for Stokes to get involved. I think Burns might have been there as well. In fact, it was Hogan. Mackey's kick once again out in front of Hawkins. Got a poor bounce. Rutten just gives him the don't argue. The handball is intercepted by his opponent in Hawkins. Kick around the body wasn't great to Stevie J. And Stevie J was disappointed and looks to Hawkins and shakes his head and says, come on, mate, you got to do better than that. We'll have a throw in.
He's knackered, Hawkins. He had two really great defensive efforts that got turnovers before that.
Mumford, a single hand down. Goodwin taken with the footy. Thompson sticks his head over it. Dowdy's handball was interrupted. Varco just couldn't get it going his club's way. Now Ling picks it up. Gets it off to Enright. Eventually Stokes, and now the superstar Chapman. From downtown, Chappie sticks it through. And the Cats have kicked 2 in a row, the first time in the game that's happened. 5-4-34, Adelaide 3-3-21. Chapman, beautiful from outside of the arc on the Triple M Fox Sports scoreboard.
We read it beautifully, and you're right, Tommy Hawkins is spent. He's coming off the ground, Tanason and Burns. Mumford, the reason Mumford's number one ruck is because what we saw there, he won't get a stat, there'll be no mark, there'll be no kick, there'll be no tackle, but it was second and third efforts around that loose ball just created enough pressure for the ball to spill out to Chapman. That's why he's the number one ruck at the moment, Mumford.
Stevie Johnson just gave Chappie a fearful spray. The ball went through, he sat there shaking his head. Chapman's running back the ground, he screamed out to him, pointing to his eyes as if to say, look. And I agree with him because Johnson was on then. Johnson was 10 metres out from goal. Chappie went long. He wasn't happy, Jono.
Have a look at him, even though they got the goal. There you go. Look at Edwards. Edwards is wrapped up in the perfect tackle. Still got it down to the boot, though, and advanced it. Stevens now inside the square to tip it up. He flies over the top. Third man up, Harley knocked it straight down to Mackie, who read it really well. Handball wide to Hogan. Had a difficult ball to pick it up. Did really well in the end. Got it off to Mackie. Some evasive footwork for him. Was able to get the handball to Corey. All of this defensive 50 for the Cats at the moment. There's Bartel out wide. The little chip over the top to Chapman on the Sam Newman wing. He runs over the Orient V6 logo. A slotting little ball found Ling. Ling on his wrong right foot wasn't great. Mooney on the lead. Got it on the bounce. Tried some fancy footwork. Left foot kick as he turns his man around. And a minor score in the end. It was pretty good by Mooney for a big man. And a minor score the result. 3-3-21 at the moment, Adelaide. 5-5-35 the Cats. Go around the ground, TAC.
Bulldogs by 38 over the Dockers, 51-13, 13 in the second.
It started down the other end, though. Harley, Milburn, there's no Scarlett. Adelaide just bombed the ball in. Their forwards need to separate. Try and get Harley, Milburn, Corey, Mackie one-on-one, but they continue just to bomb the ball in.
Adelaide at half-back, very slow. And now the switch to Bock. Last line of defence. He'll come to Doughty. Just took the mark inside the field of play. Cats fans don't like it. Back to Bock.
You've got to love footy there.
Yep.
Up and about over that kick.
Yeah, that's a shocking kick from Bock. Kicked it straight to Mooney, who runs in and sticks it through. And then gives it a fist pump times 2. 6-5, 41 Cats. Adelaide 3-3-21 on the Triple M Fox Sports scoreboard.
The trouble is what Adelaide are doing at the moment. They're trying to switch. I'll give them credit for that. But they've got even numbers. What I mean by that is there's a Geelong player versus an Adelaide player. What they need to do in that situation is try and get an extra midfielder down there so they get an extra number so they can run and carry through. They're trying to pinpoint passes to try and get the switch. Now, that's fraught with danger, especially the way Geelong are playing the zone. And the turnover from Bock just come about by they've got no extra number down there to create some run.
Carlton Natural Blondes, Geelong 55 more disposals and they're dominating the hardball. Gets 29-13.
Didn't want the set shot. Mooney played on straight away as well. Doc Orient V6.
Yeah, Scotty McLaren and Steve Johnson just having a long conversation. Stevie Johnson's been explaining things to him and dancing and gesturing and trying to get some something out of Scotty. Scotty wasn't listening much.
Geelong 3 in a row, lead it by 19 points. Edwards got the clearance out of the middle, advanced the ball. Mackie over the top of Burton has been paid the mark. In fact, it'll be paid in front, free kick to Harley.
Spud's point exactly. Long ball in, just setting it up easily.
Enright goes out wide and opportunity here for the Cats on half-back. Just a little kick out there from Burns.
Well, that's because of the way the ball's going in, Jim. He's not a pack marker.
Milburn into Hogan, stolen here. Paul Pleasure was able to get it from 55 out, sent it to the river end of the ground, a long ball bouncing. Enright chases it, Bartel gets there in the nick of time, does not concede. Kept it alive to Enright. Back out to Burns. Wanted the left boot, couldn't get it. Handball off to Tenace. His kick inside the centre square looking for Varco. Clever on the wing. Now controls the ball. Sam Newman out of side of the ground. Varco with a bounce. Right foot kick is great. On the lead, Stokes takes the mark down low. 55 metres out, Geelong City end of the goal. Stokes to Ablett, getting in front this time. And a little nervous was Vince, but took the mark.
Yeah, they got the numbers.
Ball off to Goodwin.
Mackie's hurt himself, boys, going straight down the race.
To McLeod. Mooney, in fact, was Rook, pursues him. Long in search of Barton. A big fly from the Birdman, but gave away the free kick.
Well, to Harley, Gary, I just saw Knights run off the ground here. Adelaide had the ball, running up looking for an option. Knights just ran off the ground. At some stage, you've got to play the game.
Dangerous kick there to Mumford, a man who's eaten 16 sausages in one sitting, but they end up away with it, the Cats. Enright out wide. Ablett held up surely no free, not going to matter. The superstar has a bounce, closes on 35, runs in and misses badly. Very badly, almost missed a lot. Gary Ablett, as we go down to the dock, I'll give you the scoreboard after that. Doc.
Yeah, Mackie went down the race. I think he got a hit low down, probably in the family jewels, JB. So the doctor was just almost smiling as he ran with him. So hopefully nothing too serious.
Kegged him. 6-6-42 to 3-3-21. Triple M Fox Sports scoreboard.
Ablett keeps his feet. How important is that? 22% of Adelaide's kicks inside forward 50 are long compared to 12 of Geelong.
Natural blondes there. Explosive speed by Ablett. It was great, wasn't it? A 21-point lead to the moment to the Cats. The free kick will go to Harley. Got one in the back out there on the outer wing.
Again, long. Playing into the hands of, I reckon, of what was a vulnerable defence before this game started in Tom Harley. He'd be laughing his head off, Tom Harley.
Wants it in long.
He'd be going, I'm underdone, haven't played much footy. For God's sake, don't have someone hitting up on me.
The one thing I can't play is a hit-up player.
What I can do is mark. He was the number one marker from opposition kicks last year, and they're doing exactly that.
That's why Gary Lyon and Danny Foley sit in our box. As Stevie J handball to Ling inside. Here they go in the build again. As the kick goes inside from Gillies to Mooney. Getting in front, Otten took the mark. In fact, it's Stevens. Stevens of Adelaide, defensive 50.
Stem the flow at the moment, Bristle.
Big Rutten. Looks for John Cock, a little push, again and a push. Adelaide not quite up to speed with the fact that you can't use your hands. And Burns is going to end up with a free kick at sort of wing half forward.
Again, the counter-attack from Adelaide starts with a short pass.
And ball off to Bartel, his kick just chopped out by Seller, who was unable to take the mark. Stevie Johnson tries to get around about 7. Adelaide get through Thompson. He's wrapped up in a really hard tackle. Vince gets pushed in the back by Bartel.
Poor decision.
And Gary says it's a poor decision. So do the people in front of us, who are a little on the different side as this one here. With Bock gets a kick to half forward, but again it's long and again able to chop it out. Big Tommy Harley. Some numbers out here though. Burton wrapped up in the Varco tackle. Released the footy. Goodwin got it out wide. Eventually Bock, running away from goal, gets it back to Goodwin.
Goodwin now, an opportunity for Riley. Sends it inside 50, high ball again. Here they go, the pack forms. Tippett couldn't get it in the air, got it on the ground. Right foot snap over the shoulder. Have a look at this. 3 Geelong players back to take the high ball mark.
Well, not only that, BT, 4 Adelaide players flew for the 1 mark.
Milburn getting an escort out of the ground, but in the end, handballed in the arms of Poor Pleasure. Corey's there as well. So was Hogan. Handball to Burns. Fumbly type set up there. Shirley near the boundary line. Free kick.
He's getting a good run with the Catters at the minute.
Carlton Natural Blondes freeze 13-7 Geelong's way.
Shannon Burns has got it on the half-back line. Score is 42-21. Geelong by 21 points. Shannon Burns on the half-back line in front of where they're constructing the new stand down here at Catland. Enright, a chipping ball inside. Point of the square at half-back, Chapman.
He goes to Tanase at centre half-back. Tanase's little ball works. Picked up by Wojak.
Go all the way.
Says Avasiga, Wojak go. Just run all the way in and kick a sausage, young man. He has kicked it very, very wide. Again, almost missed a lot under no pressure. And that is through for a behind. 6-7-43 Geelong. 3-3-21 Adelaide. Doc.
Drew Mackie ready to go with interchange gates for Geelong. So over that low knock he had, he's ready to go now.
Again, Geelong's counter-attack starts from a handball, and what that does is force the zone to come at you. Adelaide, what they try and do is start with short pass kicks out of their back half.
8 minutes left in the second quarter. The Cats by 22 points as once again the Crows on the outer side try and go forward with a high ball. Salah took the mark in the end. Can dish it off inboard. Might have in fact been Marrick it was. Now an opportunity for McLeod. Gives it off to Vince. Runs to 50. Missed to the left. Golden opportunity squandered by the Crows. A 21-point advantage now with the Cats. Let's go around the grounds thanks to the TAC.
Bulldogs by 38 points over the Dockers, 20 minutes into the second.
Tanase off to Corey. Corey's kick not great, but Mooney's going to get it on the bounce. Just hacks it out of the air, but straight into the waiting arms of Stevens for Adelaide.
For all the dominance of Geelong, it is only 21 points to margin. That's that Adelaide are hanging their head on.
Bock bounces through the centre, gets it off to Van Berlo. He gets barreled by T-Bone Tommy Hawkins. Now Thompson. Handball back. Riley inside 50. No, nice mark. Vince. Knight, sorry. He takes it about 40 out. Tight angle, Doug Wade stand in.
Well, this is what they've got to go to work on. Knights on Tanase, I reckon, is something you'd back in. I like if you can get Burton on Harley, isolate that out of the square as a leading forward. and have Tippett as your long get-out. Only 20 points. They've been smashed.
And that was the first time they went inside their forward 50 to a low target.
This for goal number 30 on the season for Knights. Been a revelation in the front half. Left foot shot is going to miss to the near side. And that makes it 3-5-23 Adelaide, 6-7-43 Geelong. Triple M Fox Sports scoreboard.
12 of the 13 scoring shots for the Cats have come from the corridor, Bristle.
Around the grounds for the TAC. If you're driving drugs, you're out of my dash.
The Bulldogs by 39 points over the Dockers, 22 into the second quarter.
Brad Johnson, record-breaking game there at Etihad Stadium. And the Cats in control here, but as Gary's alluded to a couple of times, just on the scoreboard in control. Not over the top in control, if you know what I mean.
Carlton Natural Blondes, Jimmy Bartel leading stat getter, 22 touches at 95% efficiency.
Boundary throw in forward pocket here for the Crows. Paul
Well
Pleaser spinning out of the pack. Left foot high ball. Burton's got no hope against 4 Cats. The knockdown of Knights. Look at Knights, 1 on 5. Look at this. Knights was 1 on 5. Cats with a 5. Wojcinski out of defence with the football. The Cats are hunting in numbers here now. Milburn through traffic. Missed Ablett with the handball. Burton came through. Ling was there to tidy up. Gee, they're desperate. Look at Ablett. Fight hard. Ground level. Couldn't win it out in the end effectively. Handball comes to Edwards of Adelaide. Left foot snap at goal. Missed another opportunity here, Adelaide. 3-6-24. Geelong 6-7-43. Triple M Fox Sports scoreboard. Nothing beats Fox Sports. Live and exclusive sports all the time.
A little bit of momentum at the moment, Adelaide. They're setting up a beautiful wall here. Geelong are struggling to get through at the moment.
If they'd stuck a couple of those through, Gaz, the Parkeroon would be out of the home side.
Yeah, they're in it. They're in it. Don't worry at all. They are right in the contest here.
Spud Frawley, former superstar for the Saints, is in the back of our box. Gary Lyon, former superstar for Melbourne. That's a proper punch analyst style, not just old and boring. As Mackie, that half-back, our side of the ground, punches into the middle, but Merritt takes it, gets it off. Knights from outside 50. Left foot ball again, he's going to miss. And just sneaks through for a behind. That's another behind, 4 in a row.
See Paul Chapman telling him
Well,
too.
3-7 to 6-7.
He had Tippett, Knights and Burton all on their own. Now, that's the way he can hurt Geelong. He hits that target up. All of a sudden, the Geelong defenders have to man up.
Chapman was right into Knights verbally about not giving the ball off to his teammate there and really having a crack as the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. This quarter, Adelaide have kicked 5 behinds on the Fox Sports scoreboard. No goals to go with those behinds. McLeod. Handball's off to Vince. Backwards to Goodwin, back to Vince. Looks very much like Van Berlo does Vince. Short little kick found Shirley, centre half forward.
Look at the numbers.
Everyone except Mooney, who's in the centre circle for the Cats, is forward of the ball at centre half forward. Shirley, a high ball goes inside 50. Harley arises, but Burton's taken the mark from the side and he's been paid.
That's a good grab.
So no punch from Harley, and Burton has got it 30 metres out on a 45 angle.
Well, Tom Harley, he thought he was a little bit younger and had a bit more spring in his legs. This is my ball, but Burton just had far too much athleticism, as we say in the Ace of Gemstone computer replay.
Third game back for Burton from the knee reconstruction. Played very well last week.
Loz has arrived with half-time lunch.
Took a big mark. Loza doing the job for the boys. Spud going first in. Spud, you should probably wait a while while I have a look as Burton comes in and nails the goal. So Gary, Adelaide have got one here. And all of a sudden it gets tight again. 4-7-31 to Geelong, 6-7-43 on the Fox Sports scoreboard. He's got a couple, Burton.
Now, Brian, they are playing okay. They're just hanging in. They haven't been put away. I just think you're nervous if you're a Geelong fan, because that forward line of Adelaide, if they get it right at half-time, if they can structure up properly, separate the Geelong defence, if they can get... Now, this is good. Burton taking Harley to the goal square. Tom Harley don't want to play in a sharp leading forward. If they can get Knights isolated on Tanase, I'd like that as well. Tippett's come up the ground. This is a forward line that can cause trouble to this weakened defence.
And I think what needs to happen, Knights needs to come down and try and engage Joel Corey.
And Mackie as well.
And then there's Mackie as well. So Adelaide need to play one-on-one.
Hawkins and Marriage. Marriage can't quite end up with the footy, and that allowed Selwood to come through. Give it off to Enright. Enright to half forward in search of Mooney. Goes through his legs. Stokes at the back with John Cock. Neither can get their hands on it. Van Berlo came in very nicely. Got it to Goodwin. Goodwin to Stevens. Back to Goodwin. And his left foot ball. Dangerous. Good mark taken by Dowdy. The handball off to Tyson Edwards. Going to have to release the pill. Great chase from Chapman. It comes back to Selwood. Back to Chapman. Lovely squeezing ball from Chapman. Just missed its target in Mackie. And Adelaide through Doughty and then Goodwin. Eventually Edwards streaming out of defence. It's going to be Knights. He's going to have to get a left foot ball to it somehow. And he goes wide and finds Shirley.
On the outer half-back flank, goes even wider to Paul Pleasure, who offers the lead there. And the ball may be out of bounds, although Paul Pleasure kept it in play. He takes a bounce. It's surely out of bounds.
I think it's holding.
But this is another matchup that you work on if you're Adelaide. Paul Pleasure on the young boy Gillies, that hasn't played a hell of a lot of footy. I mean, that's another one you try and isolate.
So Paul Pleasure's got the free at half forward here. They trail at the moment by 12 points, the Adelaide Crows. Paul Pleasure to kick it inside 50. The leader, Burton, who's got 2 on him, but almost controlled the mark in front of Harley. In fact, been paid.
Harley can't go
right on 50 near the boundary line. He presented up, Gary, and he did it.
Go with him.
Now, Burton needs a right to left drifter here.
Nearly impossible from that angle.
53 metres out from goal
With the
on
wind.
the perimeter piping.
Against the wind.
Burton comes in, kicks a high ball top of the square. Up they rise. Corey couldn't hold the mark. Tippett was there. Off hands, the wheels. Wojak Wojcinski. A nice little bullet finds Burns, who takes the mark at centre half back. I think a bit of light rain starting to fall out there now. As Selwood at centre half back runs with a handball to Enright. Enright at centre half back goes out wide with the Sam Newman wing side of the ground, the outer side. Here they go again. Wojcinski just kicks a high, long ball. Chapman's there as well. One out. Pushed one man out of the way and took a chest mark dive into the ground, did Chapman. And he'll line up 30 out. Let's quickly go to Doc.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. It's just starting to spit a little bit. There's a big cloud coming over the back of the stand over your right shoulder. So it doesn't look too dangerous, but it just looks like it's going to last a while.
Orion v6, Doc Larkin's down there.
That's the beauty of Chapman. He pushes Doughty back to play as a defender. Great body work, Chapman.
16 disposals, 5 marks, 1 goal. This to get it out to a 3-goal lead. Chapman's made no mistake. And he has kicked his second goal. Paul Chapman, very, very good indeed. Scoreboard 7-7-49 Geelong. Adelaide 4-7-31. That's the Fox Sports scoreboard. Let's go around the grounds for the TAC.
Bulldogs by 45 over Fremantle. 12-4-76 to the Dockers. 4-7-31, 29 into the second.
Adelaide need out at half-time. The forwards, the forward coach, I'm not sure who it is for Adelaide, need to sit them down. Rule number 1, let's separate, let's isolate. Rule number 2, don't think about yourself. Play team football. We all lead into the one area. We're going to play into Milburn, Harley, Mackie. If we can get these guys isolated and hit up targets, we are a chance to win the game. Kick the ball high into our forward line, we are no chance.
Frenzy of movement down in front of us. Should be a rain, Jim. Oh, I don't think it is anymore.
Getting the ponchos on.
Stop raining. As Big Mummy puts a very nice tackle on out of the middle, but Dangerfield was able to release the ball. Through comes Riley. Gives it off. Handball over the top there by Symes. Knights out wide, goes to Rodney Dangerfield. Went with the one hand, and the ball eluded him for that reason. Corey puts a nice tackle on. Rook just reefs the ball out of there and goes to Tanase at centre half back. Handball off to Enright, back to Tanase. Tanase to half forward with not a great kick. Ill-directed. Wading no with Stevens, enabling Stokes to come through. Chapman's taken in a hard, rotten tackle. John Cock at centre half back. A sideways handball, and here's Big Seller.
Salah goes wide, a minute to go in the half here, kicks out wide to Riley, who takes a nice mark. Between wing and half forward on the members' side of the ground. Riley thought about the short one to Tippett at centre half forward. That was cut off quickly by Milburn. Now he goes to short, present up one to Knights, who can run onto his left. He doesn't.
He should have just slung onto that left.
Wheeled around, Gary.
It into Burton.
He had Burton long, and Burton's man was in front of him as well, so he could have got over the top. Burton flies for the mark, one-on-one, couldn't quite get it against Gillies, and now Corey to mop it up in the back pocket. Under a minute remaining here. Enright marks in the opposing back pocket. They're bringing up the corridor to Mumford now. Scoreboard reads 7-7-49 Geelong. Adelaide 4-7-31. 27 minutes gone. We've got 21 seconds remaining in the quarter. Here's Tanase. A little chipping ball around the corner wasn't great for Stevie J. Van Berlo went up, knocked it down. Selwood was front and centre. So was Tanase. He picked it up right near the Geelong interchange bench. Kept it in play, advanced at 30 along the ground. Mackie tried to tap it onto Johnson. Johnson went without it, and Bok was able to tidy up at half back.
No, the kick's not great. Seller did well. Took the mark in front of Tommy Hawkins, but that is the half. And the score reads, the Cats, 7-7-49, yes, but
I think Doc needs to look at Stevie Johnson. He's not walking off the ground too well at the moment down there. The Geelong champ, Steve Johnson.
All right, let's go to the Doc.
Yeah, well, Spud, I'm just not sure. He sort of went in that contest and he got wrong-footed by the bounce of the ball. He put his hands on his hips and he's walking as I watch him, Spud. Yeah, he's showing a little bit of a limp on the left, maybe, but maybe just a bit frustrated. So no signs that he's going to need medical care.
7-7-49 Geelong, 4-7-31 Adelaide. 18-point half-time lead to the Cats. The other game for the TAC tour.
It's half-time. Bulldogs by 38 over the Dockers. 12-4, 76 to Freo, 5-8, 38.
Here it is an 18-point lead to Geelong.
How can Adelaide get back into this game of football?
Well, Spud, I don't know who Josh is, but if he's a forward line man like me, he's still got faith in his team, because I think if you structure up properly, this is what I'd go with, Jim.
Yes, please.
I'd go with Porplesia and also Burton out of the goal square, because I think that attracts certainly Harley back to the line and maybe even Tenace. And then I'd be tip it up the ground maybe to be that present up taller half forward. Give him plenty of room inside forward 50. I reckon the Birdman can just start to cause a bit of trouble.
I don't understand why they don't do a bit of that anyway, Gary, because so dangerous are the high forwards for Geelong. Why wouldn't you sit a bit of Vince and sit a bit of Van Berlo and sit a bit of Dowdy just across that half-back line, get a nice open bit of ground ahead of you so that those boys you just mentioned can work into it, and also then use the explosive leg speed, because I reckon they've almost got the Cats for leg speed back there.
Yeah, they have, and the turnaround as well. Getting their defenders to turn around and have to run back towards goal is always a difficult proposition. So I'll be interested to see how they set up. Take nothing away, though, from the Catters. What about Jimmy or our man? I think we're all on Jimmy. 23 touches, and I think he's travelling close to 100%.
Yep.
Joel Corey. Ablett hasn't been overly dominant.
Shirley's been very good on Gary Ablett.
Yep, Shelwood hasn't. He's been pretty quiet, actually, 11. Isn't it different? Isn't it funny, you know? Abbott's been quiet with 13. Max Rook's been sensational with 10. Yep. His game's so much more than just winning possession of the footy. They're a super side. Their ball skills are great. Their forward line functions almost in spite of itself, if you know what I mean. They got Big Cam Mooney is a big man, but he doesn't play big man role. He's a hit-up forward. He's a hit-up. But what that does, because he presents so genuinely, then Rutten or Bock, whoever's on him, has to go with him. He can't sag off him. So when he hits up so aggressively, it just opens up at the back for the rest of his forwards to work into.
They're both good players, Spud. Button and Rock, I was about to say. Rutten and Bock.
Oh, look, they're beauties. I love the way they play. They're two direct opponents. They've got their number, no doubt. But Mooney and Hawkins going into big games, there's still a big query on their goal kicking. I look at Stevie Johnson, and I know he limped off. Look, he looks good there now, limbering up, but he had 9 disposals in the first quarter, 1 that quarter. So he hasn't played for a month. I've got no doubt Mark Thompson will be asking the conditioning staff, what do we do in the second half? I think he'll be on and off the ground. But for mine, I think Adelaide need to get the extra number back, and I know it means they haven't got an extra up, an even forward line, but they need to play on with hands, I think, out of the back half. When they do the short passing, it just plays into Geelong zones beautifully. Well, make a mistake by using your hands through the middle of the ground.
Which I reckon is one great tick for the box right next to us, because the Cats box is right next to us. So I think they've prepared beautifully for this. I think, Spud, they identify what you're saying, is that they love, and we've shown a lot of vision throughout the year of Adelaide winning possession in the back half and then streaming through the middle of the ground, share. So what the Cats have done, so we're not going to allow it. So they've had 18 men virtually from the centre of the ground. So when the ball goes into Geelong's forward line, the last line of defence comes right up inside the centre square. The half-backs come right up and are part of the zone. So they're saying, right, Adelaide, we know you love to run and carry. We're throwing the challenge down. If you get it through us, Tippett's sitting back in the goal square, Dangerfield sitting back there. If you can work your way through and you're good enough, then you have a free shot at goal. But we're going to back our defensive pressure in to hold you up in the middle of the ground. I reckon they've done it really well.
And Big Mummy also, he is the number 1 ruckman now. He's second and third efforts. He's a follower.
I like the way he follows his work. Once he hits, he follows Big
I'm looking forward to see if they've taken note of your forward line, Gary, and there's no doubt Burton. You've got Tippett down there. And again, I look at Geelong's defence. There's no big, powerful defender as Scarlett or Harry Taylor. They need to run the ball through.
Best on ground for the day, of course, for Bonaire. Leaders in heating and cooling, 13-22-88. Boys, anything you've seen that you've liked?
Cut and dried at the moment. Yeah. Cut and dried.
Gentleman Jim.
Jimmy Bartell will win the Ripper roast beef roll at the end of the game.
All right, I think we've probably given Ripper about as much as they deserve. I mean, not that we don't like a free roll, but
we might be back.
by Jingo's, they've had 30 or 40 grand's worth.
It'd be nice if Don Camillo's got a bit of a look in, given the fact they supply us every weekend.
Time break.
Oh, come on.
As we're getting ready to start this one again, so that's when we reopen the glass. Down to the dock, of course, for the Toyota Orion V6.
Yeah, I've been watching Stevie J closely, JB. He has been limbering up that hip and looks moving okay. He did speak to the players as they left the ground at half-time, so let's see how they kick on.
Thanks to Vodafone Triple Rocks football half-time lead. The Cats by 18 points as we start the third quarter. And it is Marriage out of the middle. A free kick will go in the direction of Geelong, who are kicking to the Barwon River end of the ground in this third quarter, the Doug Wade stand end.
Yeah, all Geelong players in a half of the ground bar one. This is where they zone up as well.
Mumford goes wide to Mackey, couldn't mark overhead. McLeod knocked the arm, so Mackey will get the free kick and the outer wing. Full house here at school today.
Temperature's getting down to under 15. Jim has to go for the coat.
He does. Gone to his little sort of plastic bag thing.
Asthma spray.
Wussy looking thing. Out wide now, an opportunity for the big man Rutten with the big thighs. Got a pull bounce. Kept it alive though in front of Hawkins. Used his
look
body
at the
to try and
power of
muscle out.
Hawkins.
Hawkins just pushes Rutten out of the way with the big thighs. Wojcinski went and got it in amongst about 3 or 4 Crows. Here's Thompson. Opportunity Van Berlo. Last line of defence, Van Berlo dangerously across goal, but found John Cock wide.
He'll go down the Sam Newman wing. Riley's parked out there. Takes it in front of Selwood. Reg Hickey stand behind him. And he's had 14 of them, this young man Riley. Further afield, nice to big Ivan Marriage. Over the top, looking for Tippett. The hands are not quite there on the third attempt, as Enright came in and spilt it out of play.
Again, the Cats, though, lure them into the dead pocket, Bristol. They just, if they say to them, if you're going to go forward, you're going forward on our terms.
Thrown in ball. Picked up by Stevens. The snap bounces dangerously. Burton was taken out of it. Good pick up, Corey. And he will get a handball away eventually, just to Milburn. That's holding the ball all day long.
Legal disposal.
Beautiful tackle put on, I think, by Big Tippett.
Big Tippo.
And that's what you like from a big forward, Spud Regis.
Yeah, you certainly do. And you look at Darren Milburn there just pinging himself off the ground and said, what hit me? Where did that come from?
Oh, Tippett, who has 2 already.
Not sure the Geelong coach overly impressed with that at all.
He's going to go back and have a crack to the city end.
In fact, I'm certain because I watched it.
And this is going to be the first of the second half for the Adelaide Crows if he's good enough to pilot through. Should do so. Very deliberate from the number 4. Kick is nice. It's there.
Woohoo.
First of the second half to the Crows.
Woohoo.
They are 5-7-37, Geelong 7-7-49. And all of that's happening on the Triple M Trading Post.com.au scoreboard around the grounds for the TAC Tour.
Bulldogs by 38 points over the Dockers, 12-4-76 to the Dockers, 5-8-38, 2 minutes into the third.
And the reason they got the ball inside their forward 50, I know that Geelong corralled them in there. The back half, I like the way they play on instantly. As soon as they win possession in Geelong's forward 50, they need to take the game on. They don't, they'll look up and they'll have extra numbers there. But that was great forward pressure from the Adelaide forward line and led by Big Tippett.
And now poor Pleasure wins Gillies, I think, who's coming on to stand him. So there's we reckon Paul Pleasure's pretty special. So there's a young kid going to him. Try and exploit him.
Back in the middle of the ground, a 12-point advantage now with Geelong. Adelaide getting the first goal of this second half, and McLaren says, give it to me, we'll ball it up again. Really, really good crowd in the School Stadium down here, enjoying the success that Geelong has presented them over the last couple of years. New stand being built, money just pouring into the place. Earn of about 400,000 or 500,000 out of today. Here's McLeod. Kick was past, he smothered, gobbled up by Enright, gave the handball to Bartell. Now an opportunity for Geelong to go forward again. Stevie J presents and takes the mark. Got a bit of a knock on the back of the head from Goodwin.
1 metre.
He's 55 to 60 metres out, Stevie J. Too far to score. He wants someone to come. Mooney goes to the pocket, deep and wide, no good. Doubles back into the corridor now. He's got room if he wants. A high, horrible ball by Stevie J. And this kick has been marked somehow out there very, very wide in the end. It wasn't meant at all for this man here in Selwood. But he's got it.
I don't know about that, Bristol.
Well, a high ball like that to a contest.
I reckon he might have kicked it higher than he thought, but I think that was the intention. I suppose when you kick it in the general direction of this bloke, Joel Selwood, he makes you look good, but I think he was trying to kick it to him running into space.
No, whether it was Army Award courage.
Yes.
Luke, my producer, saying it was, but Selwood, I'm not so sure, as we got it 40 metres out. In he comes. Only award them when it's there, Mr. Producer. He kicks the goal, Selwood.
What a player.
And Selwood has kicked the goal, the responding goal for the Cats. 8-7-55 to Adelaide 5-7-37 on the Triple M Trading Post scoreboard.
It was a great mark. I'm not sure whether it was meant to be. If it was just very clever from Stevie Johnson, because what he did, the ball was that high. The Adelaide defender was unable to move because he kicked the ball straight on top of the Geelong defender's head, which allowed Selwood to come in and use him as a launching pad.
13 possessions, 8 contested for Selwood. Pretty quiet, but we know he can have massive halves of footy. Could still get the votes.
The doll, Nickers Brownless, just getting up and wandering down the back, trying to find her husband who's parked in a bar somewhere.
Saw the Lady Mayoress. I would imagine she's going to get me a coffee.
8-7-55 Geelong, 5-7-37 Adelaide.
Yes,
Still
tell her, will you, if you see her, mate.
answering the Tippett goal, and out of the centre go Adelaide. They sort of bang it towards half forward. Stevens comes at the footy, wins it pretty well. Wide to Knights, stands up in a tackle, got it off to the Porpoise, who's found swimming room hard to come by today, man.
Just 6 touches for him.
There we are. This is Doughty, and that's a high one to a 1-on-4. Eventually just able to control it, Knights. Back to Riley. Riley, beautiful centering ball to Big Ivan, who takes it 40 out directly in front.
Well, it was a good play because Big Mummy, he was back trying to have a look at Tippett, who's the tall target for Geelong, but then took his eyes off his direct opponent on Big Ivan.
It's tri-spot in the last 3 or 4 minutes going forward. They've gone through Ivan while Big Mumbles is sort of headed down towards the goal square. So what happens now? Mumbles has got to come up to him, which means the Adelaide forwards will get to compete one-on-one.
Big Russian, his 3rd goal of the season if he sticks it through, the former Keilor boy. Drop punt is massaged. He likes it. There's the post. Takes a bit of the woodwork. 8-7-55 Cats, 5-8-38 Adelaide, triplem tradingpost.com.au scoreboard.
So the Cats, Melbourne will kick it back into play. 55-38 scoreboard. Let's go around the grounds. TAC Ash.
Bulldogs by 38 points over Freo, 6 into the 3rd.
That's not his best.
Melbourne plays on and kicks out of bounds on the full. A shocker.
Well, he's had 2 minutes he'd like to forget. He got ran by the tackle.
Vincent chipping ball to Burton, who advances over the top. Couldn't get it on the second grab. Got it on the 3rd attempt, though. After it had hit the deck and now can't finish it. Tippett picks up the loose ball, runs in an open goal from 3 metres out. Sprayed it across the face on the angle. And a minor score, 5-9-39 Adelaide to 8-7-55 Geelong on the Triple M Trading Post scoreboard.
No, he had a lot of pressure there, BT, but gee, they like to bend the ball across their boot now. You can nearly have squeezed a drop punt in there with that kick.
So they take their chances in this game, Gary.
They're right in it. They'd nearly be in front.
Yep. Harley's going to have to work really hard here. Did nicely. Got it off to Johnson. Big thumping left-hand handball. Ivan Merritt starting to have a bit of a say in this one. Got it off to Edwards. Good one. Chain of handballs. Vince was able to do brilliantly well. Went to McLeod. McLeod will go to Burton, his old teammate. And he has got it just inside forward 50 City End. Well, old teammate and current teammate.
No goals fired from general play of Adelaide, but one of the things you know about this side is they are unbelievably fit. They all run as hard at the end of the last minute of the 4th quarter. You just wonder with Johnson and Harley coming back in whether there might be an advantage.
So Brett Burton back and already making an impact after a long absence. Knee reconstructive surgery. Will take a shot from just inside the 50. Drop punt on the way. It's going to be straight enough. Oh, just couldn't take the mark on the line. And another behind the result. So 5-10 now. Adelaide 40. Geelong 8-7-55 Trading Post scoreboard.
Geelong by 15. We've played 8 minutes in this 3rd quarter.
They got it in the momentum, Bristol. Adelaide at the minute, I reckon.
What are the inside 50s this quarter on the natural blinds, Ash?
Crows lead the way 4-1.
The sun's shining at the moment. Milburn scraps it up from half-back and just bangs it, mungles it forward. Hawkins didn't go for the ball, but did well to stop Rutten, win the ball at the air. Now they've got a bit of a wrestle for the ball. No real winner there. McLeod come in, dished it up, handball quick. They're on the attack again here over in that dead flank over there. Got it to Bach, who advanced the ball inside 50. Got some Crow numbers here over the back. Juggling attempt at mark was pretty good in the end. from the big fella. And now an opportunity for Corey Ablett. And now Enright to tidy it up. Gillies was the initial receiver of the ball. And they go wide to Ojak. His kick is stunningly good. And on the outer Sam Newman wing, it's Bartel.
And he's called to go. And he does go. High ball down the line. Up hitting is Tommy Hawkins. Handball forward to Johnson just outside 50. Left foot bender around the body wasn't great. Doughty comes in. He's met by Stokes. John Cock gets a handball away. Van Berlo. Goodwin. McLeod. Look at this boy. Suddenly getting involved, and the Adelaide Crows look so much better for it.
Run. Working their way through the zone easier.
Rutten to Shirley. Shirley out wide to the stiff one. John Cock needs the ball to bounce on the Sam Newman wing. Bartel gets a don't argue. John Cock with a left foot high one. No one home here. Selwood gets protection, takes the mark.
He does at half-back.
Free kick Adelaide. Shepherding.
The ball was not within the required journey.
Against to Knights.
Knights has got it at centre half forward. He'll bang it deep to the goal square. Stevens has got good body position. Up comes Milburn. The spoil was good in the end. Would have been a certain mark to Stevens if not. There's an opportunity. Hogan was involved. Gave it back to Mackie. Mackie across to the outer side of the ground here. They've got some loose area out there. Selwood goes the little chiseler into the middle. Hawkins presents up, takes the mark. Wanted to play on immediately. Went wide to the Sam Newman wing out there to Bartel. He and Van Berlo will go at this. Bartel won it. Handball over the top to Wajinski. Needs a good bounce. John Cock did well to make him go back and earn it. Wajinski picked it up, gave it to Selwood. Tight little handball to Bartel. Bartel, the standing delivered, went out wide. Opportunity for Geelong. Mark on 50, Stokes. He will wind the wheels up. Long ball, top of the square, hasn't got the journey. Ablett's there, so is Mooney. In front, Goodwin takes the mark defensively.
Well, Gary Ablett's playing in the goal square. You might not mark it. You can't allow Simon Goodwin to take a contested mark right at the top of the square.
Well, on that occasion, he's purely and simply should have spoilt Gary Ablett.
Right. Kick for Thompson was not great. It was taken out of there by Johnson. He ended up coming from Enright to Varco. Centering ball from Varco. Brilliant to Chapman. 35-40 out directly in front.
That was a super kick. Burns had an opportunity. I think Stokes had an opportunity. It Burns up a minute earlier. That's great play. You're on the boundary line. Your first look is in the corridor. Finds Chapman. Good play.
He's a very, very nice footballer, Paul Chapman. This for number 3 for him.
Very high up in the Coaches Award, the Coaches Votes Awards. Jim, I think he's the votes that are given by the coaches. I think he's in about 6th. 23-12
this year. In front of the big sticks, Chappie. Man who threatened to punch crap out of Sam, and that is a sausage right there. 9-7, 61 Cats, 5-10, 40. The Crows, that's his third on the MMTradingpost.com.au scoreboard.
It hurts a bit, that one. It's against the flow because the Crows had some momentum. Tippett missing from a metre and a half out, but nice composure going forward. I think Tommy Hawkins is continuing to impress me. He hasn't had an enormous amount of it, but his lead up now, he's allowed Mooney to stay a bit deeper. He's a young boy. He should have a good tank of fitness behind him, so expect him to continue to have an impact. But Crows got to hit back here.
Let's go around the grounds thanks to the TAC.
Bulldogs by 26 points over Fremantle, 12 minutes into the third quarter.
6 of the last 8 goals here, the Cats, and they lead it by a game-high margin of 21 points. Back in the middle of the ground, Mumford went up, knocked it down, and ricochets to Bartel. Bartel goes out wide to half forward. Very wide on the newsstand side of the ground. Burns slides for the ball. Didn't win it, but got it from the handball over the top in the end, close on the boundary line. The left-footed Burns goes long and deep and couldn't mark it there on that occasion, Stevie J. Goodwin was there as well, and the ball spills over the line.
Carlton natural blonde, sorry, BT. Bartel, 28 disposals at 94% efficiency.
35 metres around from the Geelong goal. There's a natural blonde stat. The ball knocked down. Opportunity now for Bock. Gives it off, and Vince is able to chisel the ball out wide to Edwards. Over the top of him went Bartel. Pushed it down to Mooney. They don't argue. Mooney to Chapman. Chapman advances it to the square. Needs a good bounce. Bounced over the head of Goodwin. And Chapman's got goal number 4, 3 in a row. 27-point lead to the Cats at the 13-minute mark of this third quarter on the Trading Post scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, Gary, I know what Geelong do extremely well. They block the exits. Adelaide are trying to switch the play. Mooney was in the forward pocket, but he sprinted to try and have an effort in that. He was the one that got the ball and give the don't argue to Chapman. That was fantastic play.
Gary agrees with you. So we're 10-7-67.
I'm getting a donut from Nicky Brown.
To 5-10-40.
Put 3 kilo on when we walk out of here.
Yep, we always leave very well fed. Cats have kicked the last 3. And we are back in the centre thanks to Vodafone, the #1 telecommunications network on the planet, bar none. And they rock Triple M footy all through season 2009 and the finals, which aren't far away. Look at Bartel. Just crashed in. Inside 50 go Adelaide. Advantage paid though. This is Burton who picks it up close to the line. Handball's out in front of Harley. And now it's going to be thrown in. I'm not sure there was advantage on that occasion. Maybe there was just a
Why
poor
would you
kick.
lead out there? And why would you kick it out there?
Both questions you'd need to ask the ball carrier for Adelaide. Not me, Gary. Is ball work to the ground and a beautiful handball from Burton. Off to the Porpoise, who misses to the near side. And are behind the result. Too many of them in this term for Adelaide. They are 5-11-41 and Geelong are 10-7-67.
26-point margin now in favour of the Cats. There's an opportunity for Stokes down low. Handball. Hogan was always under pressure. Did really well to get out of it though. Stokes gave it to Ling, who was under pressure. Ling gave it away under pressure as well. I think it might have been Gillies, and now Adelaide have won it back. Here's an opportunity for Riley. He's a great user of the ball. He has great awareness and makes good decisions. Tippett has taken the mark at half forward. All-round good player is Riley. Tippett goes across the ground looking for and finding McLeod, centre half forward true. He'll go wide to the dead AW pocket. It goes out there wide. Opportunity now for the little chipping ball over the top. Here comes Knight. In front though was Wajinski.
I don't know if they've done their reconnaissance on this ground that well, the Adelaide Crows.
Stevie J and halfback.
Handball on the Sam Newman wing, forward to Enright. Terrific player. He gets a handball to Chappie. And then off to Varco, who bursts down Sam's wing to half forward. Look at the chase from Edwards, didn't reel him in. Looking for Ling to kick inside 50. Fist away from Dowdy, wasn't that convincing. But in the end, he manages to pick it up with some help from Thompson and go to the outer side where the big man Rutten has got the ball. Huge chassis on Rutten.
Scott Thompson, 12 possessions, Scott Thompson, Cameron Ling, another scalp.
And Bock, the kick too fierce for him at the back. Riley able to pick it up. Got it off to Van Berlo and then back to Riley through the centre. To centre half forward, the kick was low and not great. Paul Pleasure able to pick it up. Handball on the up was really talented. Back to Riley. Outside 50, he steps through and that's better.
Ryan's boy.
Gets it to John Cock.
Playing well.
40 out, not a hell of a lot of angle to the city end.
Well, it was a beautiful kick. Just lowered his eyes, and that's what you need to do against this undermanned Geelong defence.
Well, since quarter time, Spud, Adelaide have been inside 50 now 3 more occasions, but they've kicked 2 goals, 9.
Neil Craig's changed it up. He's put Ottens and John Cock forward.
I like it.
John Cock. Set shot, city end, kick on the way. He likes it.
Stiff likes it.
He likes it off the boot, Gary.
He does.
That's because it's through the big opening. Very nicely done there by Stiff. 6-11-47 to 10-7-67, and John Cock gets his first of the afternoon on the triplem-tradingpost.com.au scoreboard. Round the grounds for the TAC.
Bulldogs by 26 points over Freo. 13-5-83 to the Dockers. 8-9-57 halfway into the third.
Actually, John Cock ran down from the back half. Ottens has definitely gone forward, but that's what you need. You need to go and play even numbers, and that's why John Cock was down there, because his direct opponent, Stevie J, pushed down.
Man that had 250,000 K on, who was it? Western Bulldogs to beat Fremantle would be a little iffy. What's the margin again, Ash?
It's only 26 points in
To
favour
win
of the Bulldogs.
6,000. Just a little bit tightening up there in the
ginger region.
Spinkter. Up they go in the middle, knocked down by Mooney.
Thank you, Brian.
The old sheriff's badge.
Opportunity, Varka. Mooney. Doesn't bring it too low as Thompson chisels one up towards half forward. Harley will run out in front of Burton and take the mark. Immediately plays on with a handball to Mackie. Mackie at half back on the member side of Chiseling. Little stumpy ball inside. Marked by Dowdy. Played on. Barto's got him. 50-metre penalty. He will be within range. Dowdy will come inside 50 with a shot on goal. And this is a charging Adelaide here.
They won't go away, Bristol man.
Oh, it's a big 50.
That's 65 at least.
Yep, he'll only be 40 metres out directly in front, Dowdy, to kick this consecutive goals for the Crows and get it back to a 14-point margin.
That's 70, that 50.
Incredible 50 by McLaren. Once he gets on his bike and pedals backward, he don't stop. Dowdy comes in, and I think he's nailed it. He has.
Jeez.
Back to a 14-point margin in favour of the Cats here. But the Crows are coming in a last-ditch effort in this third quarter. 14-point ball game, tradingpost.com.au scoreboard.
The 50 was there. It's a tough one because he marked the ball in flow and looked like he was going to play on, but you cannot tackle the player till the umpire says play on. So, in the letter of the law, did the right thing there, Barco. Give away a 50.
Colt Natural Blondes, Riley, 20 disposals for the game. Equal leading stat getter for the Crows. He's racked up 7 in this third quarter.
53-67. Geelong have a 14-point lead in this game. And we played 19 and a half minutes third term. That gets you right up to speed just on how the whole game's going. In case you're just joining in or you're one of those pedantic listeners that wants to know what's going on. Yeah, in the middle. Mooney unable to get it. Hogan got it sort of inching towards half forward. Burns comes at the footy. Here's Van Berlo going to ground. Stevie J sat on top of him. Free kick. You've probably got every right if you tune in, Gary, to find out what the score is and where it is in the
If there's no pictures, Jim, it might be a bad idea to mention it.
Just a few of the details. We're not always liberal with them.
Ablett just the 14 touches, boys, and only 1 this quarter.
Symes, half-back, can go to his skipper in Goodwin, centre half-back. He's had 21 of the Carlton Natural Blondes.
As we said, this is a very, very fit football side, the Adelaide Crows. They will not die wondering.
Van Berlo, same part of the ground. Now he goes out to the Sam Newman wing where John Cox made some space.
It's just opened up, Bristol. I mean, the pressure that Geelong had, or they got a good hold on him here, but it's not as intense as it was early in the game.
57-53. Adelaide just starting to earn their way back into this game, and rightly so. It's been a good third quarter for them, although it is 3 goals apiece still in this third quarter in terms of goals. Here's Hogan, handball to Ablett. In pursuit was Shirley, got him in the tackle over the line and out of bounds. We'll throw it in on the Sam Newman wing in front of the newsstand on the outer. Full scoreboard, 10-7-67 Geelong. Adelaide 7-11-53. We've played 21 in the third. Boundary throw in. Big Tippo went 3 deep over the top. Got the handball off to Dangerfield. He walks and runs in a funny motion. The kick to Burton up there over his head. Couldn't take it. So a shepherd here by a Harley allows Milburn to pick it up. Little left foot kick around his body. Will land with Gillies. Gillies has to give the handball to Stevie J on half-back. One over the top, looking for the give and go. Stevie got it back in front of the Adelaide bench. Now Stevie goes down the line with a low bullet and finds Rook on the charge-up lead.
Gone straight off Stevie J and right on.
He took the mark, handballed on the Burns on his favoured left side. Chipping ball, Ablett, one-on-one. John Cox took it, raced off. Here go Adelaide out of the loop. Riley's got it on the outer wing.
Got nothing up ahead, have to go shorter.
And the kick wasn't great. He was trying to hit Knights. Corey came in. Now it's a distributed ball, centre of the ground. It's going to be bounced off. Just going to ask you about Burton's mobility. I know he's just come from the ground, but it was a turning arc that looked a bit stilted to me.
Yeah, probably still getting his feel for the way he goes in the game. I mean, obviously changing direction after an ACL reconstruction is the biggest threat to the knee, but he looks all right. He's just walking in front of me.
I know this is Shirley, who's double-teamed. Got it off to Vince. High inside 50, Vince. It's bouncing out towards the boundary line. Stevens out there. Mackie with him, ball out of play. I see Vince is sporting an Adelaide-style moulet. He'll very quickly drop off, being my boy Bristle, if he goes with that style of shag. That's your bogan stuff. Throw in. At the back, Tippett at the front, Mooney. Neither able to control it. Tippett just very impressive. Got the handball through. High go Adelaide towards the top of the square. Running back, almost the porpoise. Dropped the mark, and it just hasn't been his day, man.
No, he's had 8 Carlton Natural Blondes and just the 1 behind.
Gee, Riley just ran all the way to the bench then and told to go back, and he's furious.
It's going to be thrown in deep in the Adelaide forward 50. They'd love to sneak another one here. Tippett, clean possession, and the snap is good. Big tip.
4.
Just got his 4th. And Adelaide on the march. 8-11-59, Geelong 10-7-67. Tradingpost.com.au scoreboard.
Well, I'm just having a look and see where the Geelong ruckman is at this stage. I think it's Cam Mooney. Cam Mooney's coming off the ground. Yes, he was his direct opponent, and he's looking at the umpire to say I was shepherded off the ball. But you're the ruckman, Cam. You had to have body on Tippett, and he allowed him to kick an easy goal. As we see,
Mumble's going to get there.
Yeah, Mumble's just come onto the ground. Mooney off.
Tippett, he's PB in Melbourne with 4 goals. Looks better every time you see him.
Kicked the last 3, Adelaide. They are now within 8 points, Gary.
And it's coming a lot from half-back, boys. Varco and Burns particularly aren't having much impact. John Cox's rebound has been great.
It's on here at Skilled Stadium on a Saturday afternoon. Look at Big Mummy. The knockdown was good to Selwood, who got the handball away, went to Riley though. He socketed it out of mid-air, gained 20 and knocked it to half forward. Stevens was driven into the ground. Opportunity for Corey. Long searching handball out wide to Burns. Ran into the brick wall, that was Van Berlo. Got it away, Ling picked up the scavenger type nest there. Advanced it forward. Rutten now. Handball over the top to Dowdy. Defensive 50, they got the hands on it again, Adelaide.
There they go.
A wide ball to John Cock. Got to earn it though, because Chapman was bearing down and John Cock a nice mark in the last line.
This is where they're setting up from, and see, early in the game they couldn't get through here.
Van Berlo takes the mark at centre-half back. A nursing little kick to Thompson. Picked it up with clean hands, gave it to Big Ivan. He wanted a handball. Had to just sit the ball out in front of Stevens, who makes last-ditch effort to take the mark down low, sliding.
Stevens goes to Otten, takes it just outside 50. He's got Tyson Edwards wide open, ignores that. Now they're running back to the square. He ignores that. Do something, Big Ott.
Kick the goal, Otten.
Oh, he's going to hand it off to Riley Bryan's boy. Gets around with some candy sold. Sets sail. He has a big go at him. Touched on the line. No, it's home.
He's missed it.
It is home.
Look out.
A 2-point go. Geelong 10-7-67. Adelaide the last 4 in the game, 9-11-65. Last week's effort, Spud and Gary. What's that going to do to the Cats?
Yeah, I think it's taken out. I think we've seen even from Selwood today, who keeps on trying but hasn't got the spark in his legs. And you add on top of that Tom Harley, and you add Stevie J, two blokes that have got limited preparation against probably the fittest team in the comp. And we just said at the start of this quarter, don't expect them to go away.
Let's go around the grounds, Ash, for the TAC.
Bulldogs lead the Dockers by 31 points, 25 into the third.
Geelong led by 27 points at the 13-minute mark of this quarter. They now lead by just 2 points. The natives here getting a little restless, Gary.
Yeah, with good reason.
And they are just 2 points in advance of Adelaide. And Adelaide have got a clearance to go with that 2-point deficit
again
at the moment. Riley out of the middle is having the quarter of his life. Handball wasn't great, but he knocked it up to the advantage of Adelaide. Dangerfield picked it up. I thought it was a tap on Spud. Edwards on his left boot out wide, so the umpire agreed. I'm sorry about that, but Ivan took a diving, sliding, low mark. Got it to Vince. Vince, a little left foot kick, found Knight on the lead.
Hitting targets low, hitting them low.
65 metres from Adelaide City end goal. Kicks it to the top of the square. Horrible ball. Enright should mark. Over the top, had his feet taken out by his own teammate. Picked up by Otten, had a shot at goal to go in front. And kicked it out of bounds on the fall, and Ablett is hurt. Or is it Harley? It's Tom Harley. Had his feet taken out in that marking contest by his own man.
Very careful ball from Milburn. He's going to get it back here. And needs to be careful again with his use.
Shaky.
Handball into Enright. Enright just got it off to Wojak, who takes off. Handball received by Stevie J. He hasn't got a lot of options. Really starting to get a little wobbly here, the Cats.
Shaky, Jim.
Ball comes to Van Berlo. His handball wasn't great to Big
Dangerfield
Ivan.
down for Adelaide.
Ivan, though, strips a teammate, a Geelong player of the ball. Oh, big porpoise gets sat down by Mummify. And a real nice hip and shoulder.
Got an Adelaide player here in real trouble, boys. Real trouble is Dangerfield.
Let's get down to the dock.
Stop play here.
Doctors run out there in a very, very urgent manner. Harley's coming from the ground as well. He's very sore, but Dangerfield is in some real trouble out there. The doctor sensed it and was straight out there. Doc, I know it's a long way away from you, but what are you thinking?
Yeah, I just seemed to be... Look, he was shaking his right leg, Brian. Probably just a pain reaction for him. He was down on his side. He's actually on his knees at the moment, Dangerfield, Patrick. He's up on his feet at the moment. Andrew Potter, the experienced Crows doctor, with him at the present time.
Tough kid.
And he's...
Also, you need to have a look at Tom Harley, mate. He's come off the ground and walked straight down the race with Chris Bradshaw.
Yeah, well, what happened with Tommy was he was concussed, Spud, so he actually did not know what he was doing. He stayed on the ground. He actually fell over his own feet, Tommy, so he's got concussion, Harley.
Doesn't know where he is, Dangerfield.
He's an extraordinarily tough kid, and the doctor's got to take control and say, get off, son. I know you want to keep going on. And he's coming to the bench now.
Well, this doctor's got to make sure he goes through the interchange, because he's going to miss it.
Your boy Gary Selwood will want to have too close a look at that.
I can see the replay.
Well, this is just saying it might have some nervous moments. Here he is, Selwood. Kicks it out wide in search of Stokes.
Ablett's on.
Bounces it further afield to Ablett, who is on, as you heard from Spud. And Ablett takes the mark. By the way, it is a 2-point lead at the moment to the Cats. Adelaide have kicked the last 4, so they need this one, Geelong.
Well, it's just a little bit of a let-off here for Geelong at the moment because Adelaide had a chance to set up after that, like Dangerfield. The play had stopped for 2 or 3 minutes.
So Ablett, set shot to the Doug Wade stand end. Kick on the way is very good. Cats back out to an 8-point lead. Ablett gets his second. MTradingPost.com.au scoreboard.
And they got out to the game high. Was it 28?
27.
27. It doesn't matter how good your side is or how tough they are. There is no doubt in my mind that the Cats took the foot off the pedal. They just relaxed, mentally thought they were going okay, and against a really good side like Adelaide, they paid the price. And I reckon I've seen it since they got to within 2 points. They went, God, let's pick the bit up again, and I've seen the intensity return. And often when sides have long leads, you see these comebacks, and as soon as they hit the front, as soon as an opposition team pinches the lead on them, that's when that intensity comes back. Well, for the Cats, it's arrived a little bit earlier, and they've got the first one back.
They led it by 8 points after 4 consecutive goals from Adelaide. And we've played 29 minutes in this third quarter. We've got exactly a minute left in the quarter. Ablett with a vicious tackle in the middle, dumping. And we'll ball it up again. Let's go to Doc, Orient V6, Doc.
Yeah, just update on Patrick Dangerfield, who's just having a chat with the doctor on the Crows bench. He got a knock on the chin and he was obviously a bit disorientated. He looks like he's okay, but Tommy Harley was more disorientated. He's off the ground up the Geelong race in the medical rooms with concussion also.
Keep an eye on those, Doc. We'll come back to you shortly. We haven't got long to go in this third quarter. 50 seconds, in fact. Let's go around the grounds for the TAC.
Three-quarter time, Bulldogs by 31 over Freo, 14-6-90 to 8-11-59.
Geelong by 8 points here in the closing stages of the third quarter. Edwin's got it for the stoppage, kicked it to centre half forward for Adelaide. Getting on the end of it was Gillies. He looked like he got a bit of cramp as he went to ground. Selwood went to ground as well. Lost the ball in a spinning tackle. Now an opportunity for Milburn to come charging through. Goes with a low spiral over the head of Hawkins. Couldn't mark it. Off hands right and got it to Rook. Rook handball wide to Stevie J. He fronts up to the goal, 45 out. And he went the big full on one wood and missed a lot out of bounds on the full. And it'll be a free kick Adelaide in the back pocket.
He was trying to slice it, wasn't he?
Yep.
And sliced it too much.
Yeah. As Edwards has got it.
Donut time.
John Cock, a handball over the top to Goodwin. Defensive 50. The skipper goes with a long one down the Sam Newman wing. Out wide looking for Stevens. Ball carried him. Wojcinski walks through some traffic. Gets the handball over the line. Sam Newman wing. It'll be thrown in. Scoreboard 11-7-73 Cats. 9-11-65 Adelaide.
2 seconds on the clock.
Fans over there, don't worry about it. You're right in it. As Mummy and Ivan
5-4 to 4 straight in that quarter, Adelaide.
have a little tussle, but that is it for three-quarter time. And 11-7-73 Cats. 9-11-65 Adelaide. Do not leave us. A big run home on the tradingpost.com.au scoreboard.
Thanks to Vodafone. Triple M Rocks football, three-quarter time at School Stadium. Geelong lead 11-7-73 to Adelaide, 9-11-65. An 8-point Geelong lead. Let's go around the grounds for the TAC. Get the other scores, Ash.
The Bulldogs by 31 over the Dockers. Early stages, final quarter.
Carlton Natural Blonde stats to three-quarter time. Geelong by 8 points.
Bartel with 29 touches, and for the Crows, 24 to Riley.
And down to the dock, been some injury action in that quarter dock for the Orient V6.
Yeah, Patrick Dangerfield did get a bit of a knock on the chin and came off the ground. He was a little bit concussed. And Tommy Harley also was up the race with the Geelong doctor after getting cleaned up by Corey Enright in friendly fire, Brian. But hopefully they're both going to clear up at the moment. Dangerfield looks the best.
The Orient V6, 200 kilowatts of grunt. Gary Lyon and Danny Frawley, your thoughts with Geelong leading by just 8?
Well, we've got a little bit of concern for the Cats, Spud Regis and I, having a chat here in the three-quarter time huddle. Lots of run coming from the Adelaide side. They haven't quite broken open the Geelong press, but as you get tired and players get a bit more weary, it's hard for them to maintain the sort of pressure that held Adelaide up in one half of the ground for most of the game. So it's whether or not they can continue to work their way through there and find a target up forward. I think the Cats might just hang on by courtesy of their really class players, but it's going to go right to the wire.
I'm sneaking towards Adelaide, purely on Neil Craig. I just had a look at him. There's no doubt to be telling his guys 2 weeks ago when we were in Melbourne, we embarrassed ourselves. We had an opportunity here today to win some respect, regardless of the 4 points. I think that's the message he'll be getting to his boys. Continue to take the game on. I think where they really got into the game that quarter, they got the extra midfielder. He worked back to support his defence, which then created overlap. If they can keep the overlap going through Riley, like Riley was the loose man, Mackie for Geelong, and that really worked for Adelaide. So it'll be interesting to see whether Neil Craig mans Brent Riley up, because he was outstanding that quarter. What were the inside 50s that quarter, Ash, on the Natural Blondes?
14-9 Adelaide's way.
When was the last time Adelaide won here, Ash?
Round 10, 2003.
Let's go down to Doc, Orion v6.
Yeah, Tommy Harley will start on the bench, Brian, but I think they're just going to give him a few more minutes and see if his head clears from the concussion. Same with Dangerfield. Got the tracksuit top on, but it is pretty cool down here. But I think he'll be right to play if they give him a few minutes as well. Both got concussion problems.
Mark Thompson on the bench, right in the nose of Varco as well. Thanks to Vodafone. Don't forget to recharge your Vodafone. Get heaps of flexible credit to spend on standard talk, text, uploads, downloads, international calls and mobile net. Extra credit as well with Vodafone. What are you waiting for? Make the most of that right now. Geelong by 8 points, about to start the last quarter.
Mummify's got a big job in Mumford rather in this quarter, because Marriage really got on his bike and started to become a bit of a conduit. He had 6 possessions and took 4 marks in that third quarter. Ivan.
And it looks like Selwood is going on to Brent Riley, so it'll be interesting to see who wins this duel after the game.
And the wind, Doc, as it started to go across the ground pretty much from our side to Sam's
JB,
side.
from this western side across to the eastern side. So where the sunshine is, it's going across to the what's normally the non-attacking side of the ground.
All right, we're ready to start this final term. Good bounce. Mummy, the big one down to Ablett. The centre clearance going the Cats' way. Ablett left foot to half forward. Mooney got hands to it, couldn't take it. High on Selwood. How many times do you get taken high in a tackle, that boy? Beautiful kick. Stuck it down the throat of the T-bone, Tommy Hawkins.
It's all good and well being your sides motivated like Brent Riley was in the third quarter, but when you come out for the last quarter and you look against your shoulder and you see a quality player like Selwood, you've got to go both ways. And Riley hedged his bets in. As Selwood pushed hard, super forward, Riley thought, I'm not going, I'll get it on the rebound. Paid the price.
So Hawkins hasn't been good in this area today, Bristleman.
No, getting too close to the man on the mark, but looks to give himself enough room here.
Set shot from Big Tom. Oh, no.
Shocker.
He's pulled that left. It is just his and Moon's Achilles heel. 9-11-65 Adelaide, 10-8-74 Cats.
Which is not great when your 2 big men up forward have trouble kicking goals, not through getting opportunities, but just through conversion. Well, and back into play they go. Big Mumble crashed the pack and he killed that Adelaide player that went up. Was it Rutten?
Rutten's down.
He's down on the ground and he still hasn't got up yet. Rutten in the meantime, an opportunity for Stevie J on the left. Birdie likes it. Or has he just missed? And a minor score. Rutten's back up on his feet now, but not feeling all that good about it.
That's the sort of attack you want from a big man that weighs 163 kilo and moves like a freight train.
Eat 16 sausages.
10-point advantage here with the Cats. By the way, Mooney and Hawkins 1 goal 5 combined today.
Good mark taken out wide by Bock.
Set play.
Got it off to Van Berlo. Handball to Vince. He's taken in a beautiful tackle. That's holding the pill all day long.
They've gone up a notch, the Cats. They've had the challenge thrown at their feet at 3/4 time, and they have gone up a big notch.
Corey is the man who put that ball-bursting tackle on. Handball from him. Over the top to Stokes. Inside 50 with a high one. Chapman dangerous at the back. Mooney comes through, has it fisted away. They all overran the footy, and McLeod was the only one who kept his feet, did really nicely. And he got it off to Big Ivan Marriage. Goes to Burton with an honest climb. He couldn't take it, and Harley will reload.
He does indeed, and goes wide and finds Stokes. They've really picked it up a notch here. There's no doubt about that, the Cats. Have a look at all those people out in the Sam Newman stand out there. The new stand, they love the seats over there when it's all nice and cloudy. But when the sun comes home and they've got to hold the hand above the eyes to see the footy, they're not all that happy at the moment. They'd love to be on our side of the ground. Here's an opportunity for Bartel on the outer Sam Newman wing. High ball in the area of Johnson. He went over the top, tried to spoil the ball. Might have been Edwards that went to ground. Rolled out the back door anyway. Adelaide have got hold of it, but they're very tightly held here. Edwards went along the boundary line, kicked it straight to Bartel. And he took the mark and shifts the handball away. They go into attack with a low Corey ball, and Mooney had it on the chest, couldn't quite grip it in. Now at ground level, can't control it either. In the end, he just sits on top of the ball, hoping the umpire will ball it up. And he does, attacking 50, the city end for the Cats.
Good body work from the Adelaide defender, but Mooney could have extended the arms there to take it out in front, would have marked that.
10-point advantage on the McDonald scoreboard for the Cats.
Does he not have the same impact on games, Gary Moon?
Not as big as the Franklins of the world, but I still like him. I like him a lot.
Held onto the ball and a couple held onto him. So we're going to have it bounce just inside 50. City end, Cats in the lead and in attack. They're 10-point leaders at the moment as we go around the grounds for the TAC.
Bulldogs by 37 over the Dockers, 7 minutes into the final quarter.
Still a locked-up footy, and it's still going absolutely nowhere. It's on the 50 ink, and there's a bit of a dust on. Rutten and Ablett and Chapman it was, and it's going to go Adelaide's way. I think to Vince.
Number 17, whoever
Yeah,
he
that's
is.
Vince.
I could call him Vincent Van Burlo.
Well, they look a bit similar. This is a Peninsula boy who has got the shag just moulaying a bit. Is short to Dowdy, not far enough, so he goes back to Vince. I tell you what, he can play though, Vince. Gets a handball off to
He
Bock.
can run.
Bock at centre-half back has a bounce. They need to be brave here, Adelaide. Back to Bock. Bock gets it off to John Cock. John Cock, great chase, Stevie J.
Great chase.
And a beautiful intercepting mark there, all created by the pressure of Stevie J. This is Milburn.
Milburn from centre-half back goes wide to a 2-on-1. Adelaide favour. The ball was punched away, but the front and centre was good. Now Adelaide have got some numbers out there on the outer wing as the ball is won at ground level by Shirley. Just a handball backwards, an opportunity for Vince. He does look very much like Van Burlo. Kick is a little short. And the mark taken by Burns.
At least Adelaide have
Jimmy
penned
Bartell at his
Bartell.
Geelong over the other side of the ground. They
His
didn't get
kick
this
is
early on.
a shock and a good one.
Well, Adelaide need to try and get the ball out this side. They're continually going down long down the one end, and Geelong are loving this.
On the line out of bounds in the end, we'll have a boundary throw and check the scoreboard. Geelong 11-9-75 to Adelaide 9-11-65. We've played some 5 minutes in this final quarter. We've got a boundary throw on the neutral wing.
Bit of a pattern though, Bristol, isn't it? They dominated for a couple of minutes, the Cats, but they haven't scored, and you know Adelaide will keep coming.
There's Riley, got the give and go. He's a good user by foot. This one goes inside 50. Burton's there and will take the mark.
On
Brilliant
Riley.
kick. Brilliant kick by Riley. And Burton will line up 35 out on the 45 angle.
Yeah, this has been, I reckon, the theme of the day is some periods of time where Geelong have really got on their bike and looked like they've been in control of the game. But every time you look at the scoreboard, you go, well, it's only 10 points. First time it goes inside 50 for Adelaide, they get a mark.
Burton will have to kick his third of the day. Haven't had a goal kicked so far in this final quarter. Burton comes in from 35. Good looking ball. Slightly across the face. It's there. He likes it. So Burton has kicked his third goal against the flow. 6-minute mark of the last quarter. 10-11-71 within 4 points. Geelong 11-9-75 on the McDonald scoreboard.
Again, just about a 2-goal turnaround. Hawkins directly in front, 30 metres out, shanks it. The ball goes down the other end. Such an important kick in today's football. It always has been. But what you need to assess now when you're kicking the ball going forward is have a look where the opposition defenders or defence are. And on that occasion, Riley assessed that Harley was in front of Burton and he kicked the ball to space. Very, very good kick.
And now you've got Harley and Kane Tenace defending on the last line. Harley not in great nick, but having missed a lot of footy. And Kane Tenace, I don't think he'd like to be on the last line of defence.
It's proving what an absentee he's been, Burton, for Adelaide. Makes such a difference to him. Tyson Edwards stripped to the footy. Another clearance though for the Crows. To half forward, Stevens takes a good mark.
One thing they've got an open forward line now, Adelaide.
Go quick. If he goes quick, you're going to get these boys one out.
Stevens steers it into Knights, who takes it on a good hard lead.
And that's Tenace, what you've been talking about, Gary. He's a good runner, Tenace.
You don't want to play full back.
He doesn't.
Tenace.
His body language isn't great.
So Knights, and if this goes through, I'll tell you what happens, Bristol, man. Adelaide hit the front.
First time today, I think.
First time today, they'll be 2-point leaders. So Knights, goalless on the day. Set shot to the Doug Wade stand end. Left foot ball. Oh, no!
Wowee!
Full house here, have all gone bloody hell. Our mama down for the first time. What is going on? Oh, 11-9-75 Geelong, 11-11-77 Adelaide, Triple M McDonald scoreboard.
Everyone turned around looking at you, Jim, going, right,
I'll tell you what, not only are they looking around, the Geelong defence are looking at each other as if to say, well, who wants to walk back to full back? Because I'm no Scarlett, no Taylor. I'm not sure whether Tenace on Knights is a great mover at the moment.
This is a great opportunity that you identified at the start of the game. When you haven't got your All-Australian defender there, then that's the area you've got to exploit. Right now, Kane Tenace is under the pump.
When was the last time they won here, Ash, Adelaide?
Last time Adelaide won, round 10, 2003.
Thank you very much, Ash. That's all I asked. It's a relatively simple question. Adelaide in front by 2 points at the moment, and that is on the natural blonde stat sheet. That stat coming your way, a little stilted as it was. We'll have a ball up back of the centre square for Adelaide. McLaren's there, pulling the jocks out of the cracker. And just ready to bounce to the game. We'll go around the grounds in just a moment. The Dogs are in control, though. Be assured of that. Look at big eye. Barn Marriage. Got it out to McLeod. John Cuck running beautifully off half-back. A ball down there towards half-forward. Is Big Tippett. Oh, beautiful little tap on. Got it to Paul Pleasure. Had to retreat back to McLeod. McLeod now hoiks the ball in forward. Up they fly. The big man at the back took the mark, and that's Stevens. Now he's 50 metres out on the 45 angle. And he thinks he can go the journey.
Well, the wind is assisting him, but I would have thought it'll come over his right shoulder.
Wouldn't this shake the foundations here at Skill just a little? If Stevens would have put this through and put them 8 points up from 50 metres out. Oh, it's a good-looking ball. Just a little. Goal umpire's been knocked over, but it's a goal. Stevens has got it. Adelaide by 8 points. Jeez. Oh boy, bizarre scenes here at Skill Stadium at the moment. I'm almost embarrassed to read out the score. 12-11-83 to Geelong, 11-9-75 on the Triple M McDonald's scoreboard.
Well, don't be, because this has been a superb effort. It's still a long, long way from home, but this is a side that are full of run at the moment, and Geelong Footy Club can't keep the ball in their forward half long enough. And on the rebound, the back line now is getting exposed because the footy's getting through the zone, Spud Regal. They're running it hard through the middle.
And the Geelong midfielders, I've got no doubt, last week's last quarter effort, they are looking tired. The midfield, there's Ablett, there's Corey, there's Selwood. There's not a lot of spark there from the Geelong midfield.
Carlton Natural Blondes clearances since half-time, 17-5 Adelaide's way.
Oh,
21,686 in the house. Free kick is going Geelong's way.
Come on, boys.
Adelaide have kicked 7 of the last 8 in this game, Gary.
What you don't underestimate is a champion team, mate.
Out wide to Selwood, sits the high one up. Mooney, Chapman!
Yeah.
Chapman's got it top of the square. Oh, Chappie!
He's a beauty.
This man can play footy, don't worry about that. He's got 4 already.
He's a star.
In fact, Moon's got a free kick out of it, so
Yeah,
didn't really matter.
I'd rather it with Chappie.
Yeah, no doubt.
Shepherd out.
Here comes
Look at
Moon,
this.
he's wasting no time. Set shot is there. So Mooney's got a couple. And the Cats bite back. 2-point lead to Adelaide, 12-11 to 12-9. Triple M McDonald, scoreboard. For the TAC, what's happening in the other game?
Bulldogs by 50 points over the Dockers halfway into the final quarter. Ackermanis with 5 goals.
Just took any science out of it. They got the Catters have got them. They're up and about, the supporters now. But they've taken the science out of that one and just banged it along to the top of the square. It was a mark or a free kick. Mark to Chapman, free kick to Mooney. Mooney kicks the goal.
Orion V6 Dogs.
Laughing at people.
Orion V6 Dogs.
Yeah, I'm waiting, Brian. Nathan Bock just hobbled up the race with the Adelaide doctor limping heavily on the left side, so he looks like an ankle.
Mooney's got the Cats within 2. And it's a rather uncomfortable sort of journey from here on in, I'm thinking. 2-point lead at the moment for the Crows as once again the Cats search forward.
Free kick Adelaide.
And it is. It goes to
forward line,
Thompson.
Adelaide.
Plays on a good smother mid-air by Corey. Spills the ball loose. Harley in front, almost tripped up a little. Got the handball back to Tenace. He finds Enright under a bit of pressure, but nurses the ball around the corner to Selwood. A diving attempt to mark by Selwood was good on the outer side. I think he's been paid, has he, or not?
Yeah, he has.
He should be. He clearly marked the ball, Selwood, and he's got it on the outer wing. So they're 2 points down here, the Cats, at the moment. They've led all of the day, except for the last couple of minutes of this quarter.
Mummy off, Hawkins on, so he'll go straight into the ruck, Tommy Hawkins.
Selwood told to play on, handball sideways to Harley. Harley at half-back brings it across the ground towards the member side of the ground. She snuck on Hogan. Hawkins got the handball to Mackie. Now over the top to Hogan. Hogan can go here from 60 metres out. The kick wasn't great. Got a hand there, Shirley, but he really didn't want to know about it. Stevens to Marriage. Marriage out the back door. Here's John Cock. Can they do it without Bock? He's gone down the race, as we told you. And Dangerfield now marks at centre half back.
He will go out wide. The skipper's out there, Goodwin. He wheels around and then a long one down the Sam Newman wing. Unable to take it, Syme, then went to ground. A free kick is picked out by Matt Stevick. And it's going to go the Cats' way.
Where you at, Brad?
Marco and Stokes been really disappointing today from a Geelong point of view. 2 small men. Not only have they not got it, no defensive pressure.
Chapman takes the mark.
This
Sam
one's
Newman.
been good though, Chapman.
How many's he had to it?
21 Carlton Natural Blondes.
Chapman inside 50, looking for Ablett. Some strength as he gets rid of his opponent. Here is Varco, Gary.
Right.
Near the boundary, keeps it in and then steers it in the Mooney direction. Rotten gets a fist in there. Mooney tries to keep it in play. Barco gets it back, gets dragged down from behind. And Adelaide can bring the footy away.
John Cock in the last line of defence. They just got out of trouble there, Adelaide. They were pressing, there's no doubt about it. The Cats, Van Berlo, short kick, finds Knights.
Otten's on.
Half back, he's out on the wing here in front of the interchange bench. He's got a paddock to himself. Otten takes the mark, now plays on immediately. By the way, Brad Otten's played in the seconds today, a half a game as well. Good return for him. Paul Pleaser has marked the ball. 55
Open
metres out.
forward line.
Here comes Burton in the pocket. The kick out in front, and he takes the diving mark in front of Harley, who doesn't like to present up player.
Tell you, the half-time, they've
Gone to school on it?
Yeah, they had to. Because their long bombing in was playing into the hands of a defence who were going to be feeling nervous without their main man. They're now spotting targets up. Mark's inside 52 man after half-time, please.
I'll come back to that one, Gary.
Geelong has not lost a game at Skilled Stadium since round 21, 2007. 14 consecutive wins to put Adelaide 8 points up. Burton in the forward pocket, and he has drilled the goal.
That is
He has drilled the goal. It was a brilliant kick from a difficult angle, and Burton has got it. Geelong now down by 8 points.
Good.
We've played 14 minutes in the last quarter here on the Triple M McDonald scoreboard, and Burton has 4.
I think it's about 10 minutes to go on the Ace of Gemstone computer replay, but that's a very good kick. Yeah, there's no doubt after half-time, Gary, they've looked at their forward line and said, yeah, we need to throw darts. Let's throw some low darts in there. The long, high bombs will just play in Geelong's hand. And to their credit, they're lowering their eyes and they're shooting the ball in.
They would have great belief, though, the Cats, with what happened last week, wouldn't they?
They will be too, but then there's a stat there to say that when you've won a game by after the siren with a kick, 8 out of 9. The last time those sides have been beaten 8 times.
7 marks inside forward 50 in the second half to 4 in favour of Adelaide.
10 minutes left exactly.
8-point lead to the Adelaide Crows. Can you believe it at Skilled Stadium against the Cats? Milburn sideways. Harley comes off half-back. Kick smothered. Through comes the big boy Seller. He can straighten up and go for home, or he can go for a pass. I'm not sure why he did that. And it was chopped out by Wojak.
Well, the option was Brett Burton on top of the square. Just play the percentage play. He elected the short pass in the pocket.
Look at the
Majinski took the
Don't
mark.
give it
Become
Tommy
stagnant
Harley.
Geelong, haven't
I
they?
don't know what he's
And
doing.
this is no good. The chop out from Knights. He picks it up, top of the square. Handball's back. Harley coughs the footy up, and that's a behind. 9 points.
Why would you give it to Tom Harley after he get the kick smothered on the other side of the
13-12-90 Adelaide, 12-9-81 Geelong. Triple M McDonald scoreboard.
Selwood coming off a spell as Ling bursts out of defence, goes out wide to the outer side of the ground. An opportunity here for the Cats. Here's Burns. Got the handball. Off to Hawkins. Opportunity here now. They go forward. Milburn.
Mooney.
Long ball. Mooney's by himself. He's going to take the mark. He's 35 metres out on different angle. Plays on, don't know why. No confidence in the kick. Gave it over to Chapman. 25 metres out. Tough angle.
Oh, he's a
Chapman has
beauty.
drilled the goal. Chapman has drilled the goal.
He's a beauty.
They fight back here, the Cats. They're down by just 3 points. Chapman has kicked 5 today. 16-minute mark of the final quarter on the Triple M McDonald scoreboard. Let's go to the dock for the Orient V6.
Yeah, Nathan Bock ready to go back on. He's had the right ankle worked on downstairs, Brian. He wants to get back out there in the defence.
Equal PB for Paul Chapman, 5 goals.
The beauty of him, Gary, is his ability just to go forward. We know he can play in the midfield, but just to go forward and kick 5 when, look, Mooney and Hawkins have been competitive, but they haven't been great in front of goal. But Chapman, is that 5 straight, Stuart?
Carlton Natural Blonde, Spud. You're right on the money, 5-zip.
Well,
When the game gets up, you need to as well. No pausing, Chua. Or no, I'll get back to you. Bloody hell.
Tapering off to it.
13-12 to 13-9. Out of the middle, the Adelaide Crows try and get a clearance, but that's a wrapped-up footy as we go around the grounds to a TAC.
Bulldogs by 37 points over the Dockers, 21 into the final quarter.
Oh, and get some timber into your voice too, Chew, man.
All
Not
of those
the
things
high,
necessary, Chua.
not the high voice
I think
stuff.
a few locals turning around and looking at our glass has affected Chua. It's just knocked him off his game a touch. It's again locked up in the middle.
Well, they do turn around and look at you as if we're against them, JB.
Yeah,
we're not
which we're
against
not.
them.
I think you're intimidated, Brian. I think yours is starting to jump on the Geelong bandwagon.
Call it as we see it, Bristol, unless we're physically threatened as Mummify and also Bartel. Vince did well. Got it off to Bock. Bock to Shirley. Shirley breaks the tackle.
Look at the runners.
Off to Symes and then Thompson. Thompson ducks inboard. Goes with a steering ball to centre half forward. Burton has it held away from him. Port Pleasure can't get access to the footy. He's at centre-half forward on top of it, and you know that this man Knopfler is desperate to play a free kick. That's holding the ball.
Yeah, well, Tom Harley, he's out on the ground now. He's at Mark
No,
He's off, but you had to take Joel Corey to go on to Burton now. He's a good player, Corey.
And right wide to Hogan. Hogan on the outer wing to Chapman. He's been the best player on the ground, Chapman.
Well,
from 55 metres out of the ground. Kicks to the centre. Chapman has kicked the goal. Geelong lead it by 3 points. Chapman has kicked 6 goals. 19 minutes mark in the final quarter. 7 3/4 minutes left on the Triple M McDonald's scoreboard.
Oh, this is a magnificent game. This is one of his better games, there's no doubt. 6. How's he having the natural blind stats-wise, that's Stuart?
Paul Chapman, 23 disposals, 8 marks, 6 goals straight, which is a PB for him.
There was a lot of clapping going on.
There's a man here with
a PB.
There's a man in front with a ferocious clap.
I tell you what, it's pointed at you too, Brian, I think. I'm not sure.
I like the cat.
I know, but it seems to be near your face.
This is a marvellous game of footy, boys. We've got heavy clapping. We've got some fantastic footy.
Open piss being taken
The game. Hey, Adelaide will come again. Don't you worry about this.
behind us. Our two brave warriors behind us are just starting to really openly eat some as Ling gets it out wide. Hogan inside 50. Chapman!
Not again.
Oh, nearly reels in a one-hander to kick his 7th. Goodwin's hands were nice. This is John Cox spinning out of a tackle. Got it to Van Berlo. They run away through Seller. Now Edwards. He's got a runner out wide in Riley. The kick to him is beautiful. Orion logo. Riley to half forward. The Porpie drops what he should have taken. This hasn't been his day, Porpoise. Wheels around on the left. Inside 50. Tippett couldn't take the mark. And Burton missed the tackle. Cats can load
There
up.
goes the wheels. Wojcinski out of defence. Centre half back. Miss Varco. Varco can run onto the ball on the outer wing. It's Geelong at the moment by 3 points. Varco goes to the short ball. Finds Stevie J. He'll turn around looking for the left foot. Sold some foot candy. Comes back on the right. Opportunity for Mooney. Out muscle on that occasion. And now Adelaide have got to tidy it up. But they're under real pressure. Ratton got the Bock. Bock out the back door. They just ease it wide. Here's Vince. And he takes a defensive mark. It's a 3-point Geelong lead. And we have got 6 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Joel Corey been magnificent on the last 2 occasions. He's gone on to Burton. He spoilt one and then cleared the other.
Tyson Edwards, the kick to him wasn't great from Vince. And it's out of play. Half forward for the Cats, who lead it by 3 points. 21 and a half gone, final term. Triple M McDonald scoreboard. Work to the front by Hawkins. Ablett picks it up. He's taken in a good Shirley tackle. Hawkins went back and gave it to Selwood. Selwood now to Enright, who broke the tackle at Poor Pleasure. High inside 50. Mooney back there. A fist in there, I think, by Goodwin in the end. And away comes Van Berlo with a bounce.
Good chase,
into the
Varco.
centre. Doesn't quite hit Tippett. He gets it on the half volley. Handball back to Vince.
John Cock.
Out wide to John Cock, and that's on the Orion logo. Sam Newman wing side. John Cox straightens up, and he can get it to Riley over the top.
Good running from
Riley's
Riley.
marked the ball on the half-forward line. Tense game here. We've got a 3-point lead to Geelong. We've got 5 minutes and 39 seconds left. He goes wide to Burton, couldn't hold the mark. Ling's there, tries to arrest it. And the ball pinned in the tackle. We'll have a ball up attacking 50 for Adelaide at the Barwon River end of the ground. Geelong 14-9-93. Adelaide 13-12-90. Let's go around the ground. TAC Ash.
Bulldogs play 37 over Freo, 25 into the final quarter.
22-minute mark last quarter here. Geelong by 3 points. Ball up attacking 50 for Adelaide. No real wind here to worry about. It's just going to be the best side that's going to take it home from here. And the ball goes over the line out of bounds. We'll throw it in deep in attack for Adelaide.
They're brave, Geelong. There's a lot of players at these stoppages. Their hands are on their knees. We know Adelaide, they're one of the fittest teams in the competition.
Hawkins, Tippett, work to the front. The snap came from Stevens. Bouncing, wrong side of the post. So 14-9-93 Cats, 13-13-91 Adelaide. 2-point lead for the home team. On the Triple M McDonald's scoreboard, Trivial Pursuit mini board game, $1 extra. Any purchase at McDonald's today. As the Cats bring it in to Ablett. Very deep in his defensive area. Goes with a little sit-up ball that just works to Hogan.
Hogan has marked the ball in defence. Bartel comes on for his last crack at it. We've got exactly 5 minutes left. We've got the unofficial clock running because Channel 10 don't give us an official one. on a Saturday afternoon. Geelong under enormous pressure in the Adelaide forward end of the ground here at the moment. An opportunity out wide for Marriage to apply the tackle. Geelong have lost possession of the ball, but they still willingly apply pressure. Burns pushes his man over the boundary and will throw it in almost on the wing, between wing and half forward for Adelaide.
Got some news on the quaddie, but I'm not giving it until after the game.
Of course, if you didn't tune in earlier, the boys for 18 straight weeks out of the quaddie in the first leg.
No, I've got big news.
No, this is a different sort of quaddie. This is an extra thing, though. As Ling will relay the ball back, and it'll be a free kick going Adelaide to Mackie.
2 points of margin.
Geelong, I mean.
24 minutes on the clock. This is next goal wins, I reckon.
Hawkins goes short and wide and finds an opportunity here for Selwood right on the wing. And at the moment, it's Geelong holding off by 3 points, seem to have regained some sort of control of this game. Kick goes wide, and the Cats are able to mark out there. And this is an opportunity for them to drill it inside 50. They do with a Hogan kick. High ball over the top. Ablett couldn't mark. In front, Goodwin. Spun out of the tackle. Got it to Dangerfield. He was immediately tackled. Adelaide running out of defence here. An opportunity for Dowdy and John Cock to tidy up.
Got it back to John Cock. They're in trouble now. Dangerfield goes back through traffic, but gets the handball away to Dowdy. And Dowdy's low ball misses Symes. It's out of play, out of wing. It'll be thrown in. 2 minutes. 2 points, and we've got 3 minutes 40 seconds left.
Yeah,
it's the Cats who are up.
They're going to take a little bit of a risk, you'd reckon. Maybe there's a minute more of general play, but then they've got to dare to lose this game by 8 points as opposed to just playing out time here, the Crows.
Marrick, who's been pretty impressive, worked it down, taken Symes in a tackle, and the man with a head like an egg is going to come in and say, I want the ball. I'm going to bounce it out of side.
The three forwards that Adelaide have put their faith in. Tippett on Milburn, Burton on Corey, and I reckon that's Knights over there on Mackie.
93-91, Adelaide trail by 2 points. They kick it high onto the Orient logo. Through comes Shirley, picks it up, gives it off to Riley, steps through. Ball to half forward. Burton the target in about 4 to beat in the air. And Enright took the mark.
Well, we've got how many minutes left? We've got 3 minutes and 13 seconds left here. Geelong have got it on their half-back line. The handball comes in. They kick it out the wing. Ablett went one hand over the top. Opportunity inside is Chapman. Been the man of the match. Chapman 70 metres out. Goes for home. No one in the square. They get back now. Opportunity. Goodwin got a hand to it. It spills to Stokes. Can't quite control it at ground level. It was a difficult ball, and Bock pounces. We'll ball it up. Goal square almost for Geelong. We've got 2 minutes 51 seconds left. It is Geelong by 2 points, and it's in their forward line. 2 minutes 51 remaining in the game. Geelong have got it locked inside their forward 50. Adelaide go up. Marriage knocks the ball down. Opportunity for the Crows to clear the ball. Dangerfield looking for the give and go. Vince wanted nothing of it. Took the handball.
Good chase, Mooney.
Mooney chased him. Got rid of the ball. Went down.
Big Mummy.
He was sat on his backside by Big Mummy. In they go. Geelong have forced the turnover and locked it at their forward end of the ground. 2:28 remaining. Geelong by 2 points.
Look how brave they are. And Darren Milburn still played 25 metres off his man then to take his position up in this zone. That is some faith in the system.
Mummy and Marriage
good
down
tap,
to
Mummy.
Ablett. Ablett gets a little inching kick in the Selwood direction. He's taken in a tackle, and I reckon the umpire's going to bounce it again.
Well, what Adelaide need here, third man up, get the ball to space in between the contest and the wing area, try and create some run. We've got 2 minutes and 14 seconds left.
Jimmy Bartell sitting in the middle of the ground on his own. Now Porpoise goes to him.
Full-time Eddie had TAC Chua.
Bulldogs winning by 31 points, 17-9, 111 to the Dockers, 11-14, 80.
Another head-eye tackle to Selwood.
Selwood just keeps getting tackled around
He's
the
really
head.
creeping up too, boys.
He's got it about 2 kicks from home. Stevie J lurking at centre-half forward, takes it. McLeod.
Watch for something special or something different.
I think the Geelong runner's coming out. He's going to tell Stevie J just to go short pass. No,
He's going to go for a
get that.
torpy. And he really didn't latch onto it. It's a dangerous kick inside the forward line, the Mung Torp. No one able to get clean possession. Dowdy did really well. Brought it away. We've got how long, please?
1:37.
Take over, Bristle.
1 minute 37 remaining, and it's Geelong by 2 points. Adelaide have got the ball, but they've turned it over on the half-back line. It goes over the line out of bounds. 1 minute 25 seconds left, unofficial clock.
We have got the Geelong runner now, Gary. He's finally getting out there to tell the boys, if we get a clean possession from a mark or free kick, slow the game
If you're
down.
the Crows, though, you got to get up on the play. You got
Third
the right
man up.
dropping back here.
Geelong win a mark or 3, they can milk the clock, says Spud, and they're quite right because there's just 1:20 left.
Free kick.
A high tackle.
Ivan.
Adelaide have got a free on the half-back line.
1 minute 13 left on the clock.
Look at the loose player in the middle. And
Oh,
Goodwin.
lots of room.
They're down at the moment by 2 points, Adelaide. They've got the ball on the wing. Rutten takes the mark in front of the interchange bench for the Cats. Exactly 1 minute in the game
Play on
remaining.
the umpire's head.
Rutten's got the ball up towards the attacking 50. They're 2 points down. Rook in front, knocks at the Knights.
Fumble.
He ran over the top of the ball. Rook went hard, clashed heads. And we will have a ball up. It is 47 seconds left. Geelong by 2 points, and it's at their forward end.
I tell you what, BT, the sun was in the umpire's eyes. Knights went down and got a head-high contact there. Not blaming the umpire, but the sun was in his eyes. He missed it.
60 metres out from Adelaide's goal. The knockdown to Ling. Stevie J got one out wide. It's going to come back, though, all Adelaide. Doughty's got hold of it. We've got a 2-point advantage at the moment for Geelong. We've got 34 seconds left. Edwards takes a bounce, drives inside 50. Short kick. It's going to be a mark. Adelaide have marked the ball. And an opportunity here, I think, for big Arvan Murrich.
How much time?
We have got 20 seconds left. Unofficial clock. 20 seconds on our clock.
Has he got the wheels?
Marriage will line
Well, he
up
thinks
from
he has. Have a look.
50 metres out.
Ivan.
They're down by 2 points, Adelaide.
Better have the wheels.
Marriage
Top 4 on the
with
line here.
about 2 seconds on the clock. The kick is long. It's short. It's not going to make the journey. It spills. It's still in play and now over the line.
Where's the unofficial clock?
Oh, no. The
Unofficial clock says 5 seconds.
5 seconds left.
Right. We don't know.
We think.
It's thrown
The
in.
unofficial clock.
A goal from a stoppage wins the game for Adelaide. Tip it out of there. Burton couldn't get hands on the pill. It's got to ring any minute. Hogan. There it is. Siren sounds. The Cats have won the game by 2 points.
Good game.
Unbelievable business.
Yes,
At
great
Skills
win.
Stadium, 14,993 Cats. 13,91 Adelaide. And that is just beautiful as far as the people in front of us are
Oh,
concerned.
they're excited.
I think a few of them turned around and said, stick that up your ass, Jim.
Pop that one, Brian.
Very, very lovely.
Seal.
2-point win for Geelong, but a really good game of footy.
Take nothing away from the
Both
winners
teams.
or the losers because it was just a magnificent game. I think the Crows have, I think they've taken a big step forward, or a reasonable step forward, given their last outing against one of the genuine premiership chances. And
What
today,
about Geelong? 3 of their last 5 games under a goal, Gary.
they've won them. Won them all.
No, they lost 1.
Yep.
St Kilda.
But Adelaide, they learned from a couple of weeks ago, BT. I know they didn't get the 4 points, but what they did gain today was respect and a bit of pride in their performance. They were stiff in the end, but Geelong, they were brave because they were out on their feet last week. Let's face it, halfway through in the last quarter, we thought Geelong were just out on their feet, but they were just brave enough to hold on.
Speaking out on your feet, have a look at Maxi Rook out there. Has he got the stumbles up or not? As he walks out with the club doctor.
He has a little bit. And look, a lot of their midfielders were down today, but then you just cannot hold them all. Paul Chapman comes in with a BOT.
He's a match winner.
He's
He's
just
a genuine. He won that match.
Kicked the last 2 goals of the game, Chapman. Kicked 6.
24 possessions, 6 goals. But great respect from these two sides out here. That side will never go away, the Crows, because they're so very well prepared and conditioned. They just need a little bit of fine-tuning, and once they sorted their forward line out and they changed the way they went inside forward 50, it became a real a competition. And let's not forget that the 2 pillars of the Geelong defence weren't there, so that was the opportunity for Adelaide.
Van had to get back and kick quickly, didn't he,
Yeah,
Gary? He
I thought he
chewed
was-
up an enormous amount of clock.
He thought he was Malcolm Blight, the big Ivan.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he is, and
Where's
therefore,
Mumbles?
by the
Mumbles-
time he
what's
kicked
Mumbles doing there?
they'd have
Mummings is
thousands
going
in
over
the
to give a
square.
footy. But one thing the Geelong ruckman I learnt today, Gary, they need to man up the
Yes.
opposition ruckman when they get in a dangerous spot. 4 occasions Marrick marked the ball in the same spot today.
We liked Mumble. We do like Mumbles, but he's Mumford.
Just take the blinkers off Mummify.
But he's got to, exactly. He's just got to work it both
Huddle
ways.
here for Adelaide, so they're huddling in, and Simon Goodwin's maybe I don't know what he'd be saying.
There's a side who are going to finish probably 5th, I think, and I don't reckon any of the top 4s that lose would really like to come up against Adelaide on the back of a win in the final.
Well, the way it's shaping, if Hawthorn struggle into the 8, Gary, and as you say, Adelaide finished 5th, and it's a long way, it's 5 weeks away, but 5th playing 8th means that someone like Adelaide could possibly play Hawthorn.
And a little bit of news on the quaddie, Spud Regis.
Well, we didn't get our other one, but we
main one.
We went a bit longer in another one, Brian, and
You took an add-on.
cost us a little bit more money.
Yeah.
We got 10% of the quaddie, which paid
Quaddie paid 19 grand.
9 grand. So
It's not that good.
for the team, Brian.
Hey, mate, when you come
Don't
from
worry,
where
Bristol.
we are,
That's very good. That's about a 5 hunch each, and I'll take that all day long the way we've been going. In fact, I will claim that I should get nearly half of it, given the 2 that I picked in the middle
tell you
were
what, I don't know what they
$20
do.
payers.
I don't know what they do in cricket, Spud.
Yeah, it's a
But
team.
in footy,
No.
it's all about everyone putting in for each other.
Exactly.
Melbourne
right.
held on the shoulders of a couple. and,
250 fantastic games. He had a stack of footy today, Darren Milburn, two-man.
Oh, and also the gentleman Jim Bartell on the
150.
set of shoulders with the 150, Brian.
I don't know about the 150.
27 Carlton natural blondes for Darren Milburn.
And for Jimmy Bartell,
He leading ball winner for the Cats with 34.
they both had wonderful days, both been wonderful players. And this is a magnificent football side, have been for a long, long time. And the test of any great side is one that can be up for a long, long time.
Look at Chappie down there, just doing his own thing.
Where's Chapster?
He was off to the side, just handling his own affairs. Over there, Chappie with 6.
Best, I don't know who's got the best and the worst, but he was that far best, it wasn't funny.
Yep.
Right, the clapper's going home. So
Yeah,
that's
some
good
of the
news.
weird-ass stuff in front of us is wandering off finally. I tell you what, this is strange. These seats here just attract them, Brian.
Nothing strange about it, boys.
Right in front of us,
Well,
we
they're
get the real strange,
we-
eclectic mix of people.
For those that don't know, we sit in the member stand. These seats are long held.
Are they?
Passed down generation to generation, JB. So there's generations
Yep.
been involved here, possibly up to 5 generations involved in each of the seats. So there's a lot of passion
Yep.
Geelong's way. And boy, if you call the game in a neutral sense, you're in
Yep.
trouble.
No, you are, and there's almost a bit of Launceston about what we see just right here in front.
no,
Yeah, but
this is
it's
Western
the
District
proximity.
farming.
It's the proximity of the crowd to us. Virtually, when Brian starts to yell and gets a bit of spittle happening,
Yeah, it goes on top
drizzles
of their head.
on top of a
Mine
not a
too.
real head
And we
of
can
hair.
say what we like because none of them listen to us. Here we go down to the Catherine. Take nothing away from the Cats. They have been challenged in recent times and have risen to the occasion as we go around the grounds. The Western Bulldogs and Fremantle TAC tour.
The Bulldogs by 31 points over the Dockers, 17-9-111 to Fremantle, 11-14-80. Ackermanis kicking 5 goals for the Bulldogs.
Wowee.
They're probably a reflection of their coaching staff. We get such a magnificent view of their coaching box because it's literally a metre from where we sit. And their temperature or pulse does not change. It was close in the last. All 7 or 8 people along the front bench were just sitting there watching the game. No histrionics.
I've noticed one difference the last couple of weeks in the coach's box. Mark Thompson now put some headphones on the last 2 weeks. No, but he normally just sits there and he's allowing his assistant coaches to do it all.
Yeah, well,
but he's just had a little bit of a rethink with the pointy end of the season coming on.
Yeah, they're very, very cool, aren't they? As the club is and the players are, and they got out 8 points twice, Adelaide, in the last quarter, and both times got reeled in, courtesy of Chappie, we feel. So we reckon, I wonder if the Doc's trying to chase him down.
What will Neil Craig think, Gary and Spud? Will he be
He'd be
thinking
happy.
opportunity missed, or will he be thinking huge step forward?
I reckon he'd be, I don't know, privately I think he'd be pretty satisfied with what they were able to do, and also I think, yep, there's an opportunity missed, because they're in the hunt for a top 4 spot. Not so much now, but when you get to 8 points and you late in the last quarter, you would think that maybe you'd be able to hang on, and they had a crack at it twice. So yeah, he'd be disappointed with that, but privately I think he'd be pretty satisfied.
No, there's no doubting that. He'd be really gutted deep down for his players. Losing 4 points would have been a fantastic win, but he's an outstanding coach, Neil Craig. He's going to participate in the finals again. Every year he's coached, other than the year, obviously, he took over from from Gary Ayres. He's got a great record, and he's now starting to get a forward line that can really win some games in September. Tippett, I thought he was outstanding today. And what it says to me, Gary, with Geelong, looking at them, they cannot win the premiership without Matty Scarlett. They cannot win the premiership if he doesn't play.
Let's get down to the doc, who's in the Geelong rooms.
Yeah, MJB, Corey Enright joins us on the end. Corey, it was a really tough last quarter. You were in the battle there, right in front of me a couple of times, just a couple of spoils, and you knew Adelaide were going to be tough all day, but nice to come out with the win at the end, isn't it?
Oh, it's great, especially, we got 2 blokes that played milestones and not many. I think Dasher was the 7th bloke that played 250 games, and we made a big focus on that. And Adelaide are a quality unit, and they always play 4 quarters of footy.
Well done, Corey. Fantastic game, mate. It was it's one of those ones where you just knew, and I guess you guys would be the same. You knew that Adelaide is such a well-prepared side; they're always going to come back at you. Saving mark late in the game. Do you make that decision just to peel back?
It's a tough one, but we try to help out when we can, and sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. But today it did.
Must have been a tough day down there. Must have been all day without knowing it. Didn't have Scarlett or Harry Taylor there today, so it was a big job for you boys. You're outsized a hell of a lot of the day.
Yeah, it was, and a couple of special efforts from players had to play out of position. Andrew Mackie had to play on tall blokes, and then Dasher as well. So he's given away a few inches.
When you win tight ones as regularly as you have in the last couple of weeks, does it instill belief when you get yourself into that position, Joel? Because we looked at it. Corey, because we looked at it today and thought that even though Adelaide had a little jump on you, there'd be belief in the group. Yeah, for sure, definitely. When you're playing those games and put yourself in those positions, and to especially coming off last week, I know, to win like we did, and it gives the group a lot of confidence.
And you've got an even spread through your midfield again, and then you look at Paul Chapman, the PB from him, 6 goals. You just got a fantastic team.
Yeah, that's the beauty of our side, I suppose, when a couple of players are down and a couple of blokes can step up and fill the void, and that's what you need, an even spread of blokes playing their role.
Great game of footy, well played. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, boys.
Corey.
133353 is the open line. The celebration's open. Yeah, sorry about that. Just a problem with men who have surnames as their first name. It gets me mixed up, Bristol man. 133353 is the open line. The celebration's open line. And I think you and I, Spud Regis, may just drop by on the way home to get a couple so that we can have when we get home.
I'll probably need to get home soon.
133353, the celebration's open line. So let's hear from you if you've got some thoughts on this game, or if you want to have a word with some of the biggest names in football. Gary Lyon, of course, Danny Frawley, Brian Taylor, the Chew Man. If you've got a statistical question, not many of them come through, but if you've got one, 133353 is the number. Chew Man may just be able to help you out with that. 21,686 here. Saw a really good game of football. 14-9-93 to Adelaide 13-13-91. A 2-point win for the Cats. In the other game, the Dogs defeated Fremantle by 31 points. And we might just get a ladder assessment from you, please, Chew Man. A bit of a live one. I know it's a question without notice and you're on the wrong screen, but yep.
Whilst there's room for improvement for the Cats, Paul Pleasure down today. Knights down, I reckon. Thompson, quiet. So they're probably 3 of their more important players. Even McLeod didn't have a massive impact. Once you get those boys up and going again, that's why I wonder about Taylor Walker. You wonder why he can't get a game. He's gone back to the SANFL, kicked 6.5, 7 goals last week. You'd reckon they're not going that well that they can't perhaps have some backup.
And Big Bocky was off the ground the last 15 minutes.
All right, we're going to take a break. I wasn't aware we were going to one, Brian, but we are. So thanks to Vodafone, it was a 2-point win for the Cats as Triple M rocks football.
This quarter is brought to you by McDonald's.
There are 3 mini board games to collect at McDonald's for only $1 extra with any purchase.
For Vodafone,
Triple M
rocks football.
Triple M's Super 10.
10 legendary rock countdowns over 10 days. Friday, you told us the best Aussie band ever. Monday, it's
the best long songs.
Get in early and vote now.
triplem.com.au.
The Super 10s from your super duper rock radio station, Triple M.
Billy Hyde Music, Australia's largest music retailer. The place to get all the right gear.
Home's now. What am I waiting for? My own key to open my own front door. I'm so glad I got my own home from Home Style. My freedom's finally here. Home's now.
G'day, I'm Dave Sturt and I'm a plumber. Every day I see people making big sacrifices and really trying to do the right thing to save water. But even so, not everyone's keeping their showers under 4 minutes. That means some people are wasting the water that belongs to all of us. Well, it's just not right. I come home filthy some days, but I'm still out of the shower well within 4 minutes. If you know someone who's taking too long in the shower, give them a nudge. You know, it's just not fair on the rest of us.
Work is underway to build Australia's largest desalination plant, upgrade our irrigation systems and expand the water grid. But until these and other water projects come online, we all need to keep saving water, even in winter. So visit target155.vic.gov.au, authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Ever wanted to call a mate 12 times to let him know your team flogged his? Then call him 4 more to really rub it in. Vodafone has a new range of prepaid caps. Recharge and get heaps of flexible credit to spend in more ways, from standard talk to text, uploads to downloads, and international calls to mobile internet. Plus recharge and get extra credit to call any Vodafone mobile within Australia. Well, what are you waiting for? Make the most of now with Vodafone's new prepaid flexi caps.
30-day credit expiry. Some calls, text and data excluded, subject to network availability and device capabilities. Full terms at vodafone.com.au.
Tonight is Tats Lotto's $20 million super draw. Grab an entry at your local Tats outlet, Tats Quick Store, or buy online at lotto.com.au and wish yourself luck.
Harvey Norman's Red Dot sale is on now. 3 big days only. Find the Red Dots in store and save. Up to 20% off desktops, laptops, digital cameras, TVs and fridges. Up to 30% off Manchester and bedroom furniture, cooking and audio. That's right. Find the Red Dot at Harvey Norman and save. Up to 40% off lounge, dining, mattresses, ensembles and selected rugs. Exclude Sleep Number. Hurry. Harvey Norman's 3-day Red Dot sale must end this weekend. Spot the dot and save.
Go, Harvey Norman, go!
When travelling to some overseas destinations, you don't have to be having unprotected sex. You don't have to be getting a tattoo. You don't have to be an injecting drug user to be at risk of exposure to Hep B. A simple cut or accident could be all it takes to expose you to hepatitis B, including some medical treatments or even a hospital that isn't 100% clean. The only thing you want to be is sure. Be sure before you travel. Ask your doctor if a Hep B vaccination is right for you. Be sure before you travel.com.au.
For Vodafone,
Triple M
rocks football.
The Footy Review is brought to you by Budget Car and Truck Rental.
Half-price trucks Monday and Tuesday. Budget.com.au.
The Cats, 2-point winners at Guild Stadium. Ripping game of footy. In fact, we've had two tight ones, but this was a really good one. 14-9-93 to Adelaide 13-13-91. 21,686 fans here. The other game not as tight. Dogs and Fremantle, 31-point winners. The Western Bulldogs, who are in third spot and have got a nice little bit of percentage as well. So they're looking good. 133353 is the Triple M Celebrations Footy Open line. We want your calls. Get on right now and have your say. If you're a Cats fan, you'd be enjoying the fact that for 2 weeks in a row, your champion team's been challenged and you've been able to rise and get over the line. And Adelaide fans, lots of you listening back in South Australia, maybe including our man from the Adelaide Hills, who doesn't like the fact that I don't like his club song. We pretty much always hear from him when we do one of those games. I think Cherry Gardens or Cherry Valley or somewhere. We think he needs to jump on. 133353. Anyone else who wants to have a piece of the review, thanks to Budget Car and Truck Rental, 133353 is the Celebrations Open line, helping you celebrate. Paul Chapman, if you just joined us, kicked 6 for the Cats, and on the other side of the equation, Burton kicked 4 and Tippett kicked 4. And those two gentlemen, Gareth and Spud, are starting to make a nice little two-pronged go inside the forward 50 for the Crows.
Yeah, no, they've systematically gone about assembling a forward group of players, not so much a 6, that are a lot more dangerous, and that's coincided with their improved form. Tippett's critical to it. Dangerfield puts all the defensive pressure on down there, works really hard, and Knights has turned into a terrific goal-kicking half-forward. Porpoise's been down a little bit, I reckon, over the last month or so, but all of a sudden, they got these Stevens can pinch hit, they've got a group of players that are capable of kicking a score. So, no, they've done a great job, I reckon. When Neil Craig identified that they weren't being bold enough or attacking enough or capable of kicking a big enough score, since that time they've taken huge steps.
And they've learned a lot from 2 weeks ago. You know, they didn't play on at all. And I think the fact that Brett Burton's now got another full game under his belt also, he looked dangerous. So they've now got a forward line that can win you a big final. And whether they get, how far they get, who knows. But their back line is as solid as you've seen. And again, Nathan Bock was a big loss. The last 15 minutes he was running off Hawkins and Mooney. He went off the ground, and again they'll be saying we just lacked that last runner, the last 10 minutes.
First time they've put a forward line together for ages, years, I reckon, and you throw, as Gary says, Taylor Walker into that mix as well, and all of a sudden there's 4 or 5 of the 6 contributors up there are actually good quality forwards.
Just got word that Richo may have done a hammy again in the VFL.
That may be career-ending.
So we're just going to hopefully get confirmation of that. I don't want Richmond fans to get too depressed because we haven't actually had it confirmed, but we've heard a whisper that may be the case, and if it is, that is not good news.
In saying that, there's going to be improvement from Geelong also. Stevie Johnson will improve on today's run. Tom Harley definitely will improve. Brad Otten's bowl reports will be back in either 2 or 3 weeks. He played a half in the VFL today unscathed. Scarlett will be back next week, bowl reports, and Harry Taylor in a couple of weeks. So if they can get their full team on the park with 2 or 3 games to go, it could still open up for the Cats also.